All right, guys. Welcome back to the Imaxit YouTube channel. I'm your host JD. If you're new, please do smash that like button, share, and definitely subscribe. For the persons that have already subscribed, keep doing that great work by sharing the contents far and wide. We really and truly appreciate it. So obviously, we have a long list of things that we have to chop up today. All right, as you can see right at the front, Heimir Hallgrímsson, the Reggae Boyz coach. If you just joined the channel and you don't know what we're talking about, he is in the island and he had said a few things, so we are going to react to that because we have written down some things on the paper. Yes, uh, and look at how it's going to how it's going to fare off until now, from now until March. Very much important. Then we have a few transfers here and there. We have to look at Bobby Reid's performance, the league kit that we heard, and Ximines. We will have to just clear up some things there because people came under the video and said a few things, but clearly maybe they don't understand what we are saying. So we have to go and talk about that as well. So we have a lot of things to talk about. So let me just big up some people already in the chat so we can, continue the show. So we have Kevin, bless up, thanks for being here. Sean Base, massive respect, thanks for being here. Siobhan, big up yourself. My stream says Hallgrimsson, so I don't know why I should be talking about leak it. I think the Jamaican category might just be the category of clickbait titles then, because I talk about Hallgrimsson, I never put leak it, so leak it have to go at the back. So anytime you hear something different from what I'm talking about, please just keep it at the back of it, all right? Yes, so we have Tennessee. Big up, massive respect. Big bad Tennessee in the house, all right? Jason, Guna, all right? Chelsea, I get slapped up by the great Fulham. Surprise a lot of people in the building. So we have Brian Burke, our brother, in the building. Sheridan in the building, all right? Joseph in the building. Kai in the building. Toffee Rudy, Tyrone in the building. So we build up the building very early. So the first transfer we are talking on, and this just came out 2 hours ago. Cardell Benbow from Jamaica Waterhouse. He left Jamaica to go to Bienvenido. He will be playing at. All right, so further information we will get very soon, but this is another transfer for a Jamaican player going places. He played well last time. We saw him in the CCCC, and he was definitely one of the standout players for Waterhouse. We saw him in a few matches. I'm not going to act like I'm a professional for the JPL. We don't do that thing. When we don't know something, we're glad to ask the public. We're glad to work with people to find it out. We are not the know-it-alls that come on the internet, and that's why we keep on us relay information, and we have no borderline bad intent more than just trying to please our subscribers. That's why people subscribe to us, because we keep on the truth. And anywhere the truth leads us, that's where we go. So Cardell Benbow, we will try our best to give you some information on him, and you let me know in the next stream if it's a good deal or not. But he's a solid player. He has done his rounds in young boy football in Jamaica, went overseas, then returned back, and then he's going overseas again. So that's a next statement to show you that players kept coming out of Jamaica and in Jamaica over and over. All right, yes, so that's a good thing yet again for the JPL, and also for the player himself. All right, so let me know, guys, what say you? Go and check up Cardell Benbow, see where he went and everything. That's one stripe for the JPL already. All right, Fabian Full, big up yourself, thanks for being here, saying like up the stream to Italy. No, I will give you all the details. It's not showing Italian flag here. All right, so I will give you the details. We'll get it throughout the stream, don't worry yourself. I hope Antonio go to Newcastle and don't go to Wolves. All right. So let me move on over here. because we did a separate video on Antonio. We are going to discuss it tonight as well, but we did a separate video on that. You can go over there, drop a like, and then return. We released it very early, but we tried to context everything. So we talked about Skamaka and El Naziri that could come to the club that might transfer the problems, all right, for Michail Antonio. What should Michail Antonio do on the back of that, all right? Lansley, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Costa Rica, yes, yes. Sham 6, massive respect. So we are going to come straight back on this. Let me just go right here, guys. I have built a video the other day explaining where Ximines went. I spoke with Mr. Spade right after. Mr. Spade know the deals. Mr. Spade himself, he was not really pleased with the move because he's saying that sometimes the jump would cause a little problem. So I took out my video out of that just to explain where the player would be. And I heard a man come on today and said, "Oh, JD, stop like you want to undermine the move because Ximines never signed for the young team." Lambasika, Lambakisa, he was at the under youth 18 1 year and a half ago, and now he's in the national team because he tries to go places. All right, so this is one of the articles that came out in Belgium instant. All right, and we never just took the article alone. We research ourselves and then come to you. And this is what they said here. The 18-year-old, so they said Tarick Ximines joins Jong Cercle. Jong Cercle is just the younger team in the franchise. So you have the national team that plays in the Pro League, and then you have the under 23s. So that's how it sets up. So that's what they said. So they explained it to you. So they said the 18-year-old Jamaican international Tarick Ximines has signed a contract for 2.5 years, 2.5 seasons with Cercle Brugge. So that's the head name of the team. All right. This is the last time I'm going to talk about it, and then I'm done because I don't. My information comes directly from the internet, so that's why I can prove it to you and talk. All right. And this was not a hatred or nothing. I can't believe that I'm explaining something to Jamaican people, and then people in return they are saying it's a hatred or something else. So I guess you don't need to know the truth. You only want to hear the propaganda. I don't see myself on that. You know why? Because when I pick my team, I pick my team based on performances and level. So that's why I have to always alert you on where they are playing. So that simply means you can understand why and how I evaluate things because everything is connected when it comes on to me. All right. They simply said Ximines, a right back, will play for Jong Cercle as soon as all administrative matters relating to the transfer have been completed. Because remember, they told us that he's over there, but he's going to get his papers sorted out, work permit and everything. So you saw that he kept to hit, and then he's going to go straight in the Jong Cercle. It simply means that's where he's going to. They have other players there. I've literally clicked it, and you go on transfer market, you see mark Jong Cercle. That's where he's at. All right. And so it's more than one reasons why we told you about it. We told you about it for one reason, to educate you where to watch the player. Because the problem is, so when you tell people that he plays for Cercle Brugge, then they go to a Cercle Brugge game and don't see him. What people would say that we're misleading people, or someone fighting against him. Am I lying, guys? Am I lying? So when I go and get the information to tell you where he's playing, I can't understand how that turns out in me fighting him. I am trying to educate you. So that simply means when you have to check your TV when the under 23 is playing, so you know exactly where to watch a player. That is called me being honest to you. That is called me being honest to you. So when I saw the man comment under my video just a while ago saying, am I don't playing the player? I am looking out for the player because we deal with education. I'm in Belgium and I do this in Belgium. You understand me? I am in Belgium. I'm not in Jamaica telling you about Belgium. All right? I am in Belgium telling you about Belgium. All right? Yes. So I just go and get information. It has nothing to do with Tarick Ximines per se. It has to do about we make sure we give authentic information where to watch the player. So they said he's going to be here for the entire season, and they're going to evaluate him after the entire season. All right. That's all we have said. So Cercle Brugge is the actual Ed staple of the system. He was signed on to go in the under 23s for the end of the year. So you don't look out for him in the national team. That was the conversation we were telling you. And that is the facts. Nobody said them have links with people can't tell you anything otherwise. That's just the facts. So when we're talking about a Jamaica national team, we just said Tarick Ximines, him gone go develop himself at this point. We cannot have him in our conversation. But people will twist the stories to make it fit their narrative because they are looking friends. We are not looking friends. We are representing Jamaica. You understand me? And me and Mr. Speed was talking about the conversation, if it's a good move, because we were talking about if he should have gone to the USL and then use the USL to develop. You know, because he would have gotten actual games. Some people said, no, he can just go there and fight hard and then go up in a bigger league. All right then, but I wanted more game time for the youth, so I said he could have used the USL, but the only thing in the USL, you have to have ambition and know that you leave right after a season or two. You understand me? That's all I was saying, you know, rather than going to a new country, don't know the language, don't know much, and then you have to fit in completely different. I just believe that we are sending too much people over certain locations that they are not educated to. So they have to be trying to educate themselves and also trying to educate themselves on football as well, and trying to get comfortable at the same time. So that's three things that's going against the players them. So I was literally trying to fit in the player's brain to give you a precise understanding. And I can't believe that people, some people, they look at it, don't have any comprehension skills, and their masters that they bring the message to have zero comprehension skills just the same. You understand me? It's embarrassing, but our intention was always to inform the public on the truth, and that's it. All right. So this is where Ximines is, Jong Cercle, and as you can see, the Tweede Nacional there, VFV, and then you see the fourth tier, and that's when he signed the contract, January 4th, 2023. It's not a bad thing. We were just trying to expand on if the deal is a good deal or not. That's what. And it's called trying to learn and give some different sides to it. So we call a person that coached him, which was Mr. Speed, and ask him, and Mr. Speed, he was questioning if it's a good deal or a bad deal. All right. So we don't want to hear that. All right. We are way more educated than that for you to think that we come here just to talk and talk down a player. Because today's video was much more positive towards what Mr. Hallgrimsson said. All right. So we are going to get to what Mr. Hallgrimsson said, and then we're going to move on with the story. But we had to put this at the front of the video so people can see it. And that's how we show within here. We don't tell people that we have friends and we do corner shop business. We put the information on the screen and we talk on it. That's it. All right. We don't have any special forces or any special friends. We just work with what on the internet from the first day I've signed here. That's what keep me in this category relevant, because I'm straightforward. I don't twist any corners or anything. All right. Yes, so thanks very much, guys. Massive respect as you come in. Please do smash the like button, share and subscribe. Share to a friend, and believe me, we will get back to the 20,000 very, very fast. All right. So we have Dwayne Thomas. Massive respect, my brother. Thanks very much for being here. Mad Vibes, big up yourself. Javive says, big up yourself, JD. Enough respect, massive respect as well. Mad Vibes says, some YouTubers purposely say Braga to mislead the fan base. Well, thank you very much. I just put the information in, which is accurate information, and we don't talk. We don't need to go over nothing because we don't care what the player do. We wish the best for the player, but stop. We need to, in 2023, stop trying to turn everything. Stop trying to look an argument for everything. You understand me? More than just listen to learn, not listen to try say something back. You understand me? Fabian Full, JD, these people not listening, I don't think they listen well. Jong Cercle is not the fourth tier. He should do. Jong Cercle is is in the fourth tier. He should do well. No, and that's why I love it. That's why we brought it up, because we go to the players them to start track the players them in the fourth tier and how long they're there, just to see if Tarick Ximines will come out fast. And we saw that people in there a little while, and it's not as low. The level is not as low as what you think. And that is something that you're going to shock you, because what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to try and get some clips on the level. The level is not as low as what you guys think. Not because you saw fourth tier. Football over here is not as low as what you think. It's good, man. A lot of football is here, all right? Yeah, man, Island Card, man, but I'm not in that. I just don't like when commenters come and try to make it seem like me talking the truth is a bad thing. I'm fighting against people. That makes no logical sense. From the other days, a lot of positive videos we're doing, because Mr. Speed come here and give us his take and his word, and we are holding his word to him. All right, boy, sometimes if people just read for themselves and just talk less, yes, but if you have people steering an eye and a lie to you, sometimes the next people them just don't read. Mr. Speed come here and say that them do them just don't read and them confuse themselves. So Mr. Speed was right again. So big ups Mr. Speed. Owen, big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Mad vibes. I still think it's a good move. You never know. This could turn out. Yes, man. Of course, it could turn out in a good transfer. That's why we're reason. That's why we reason out things. That's why we call Mr. Speed at the time. Mr. Speed find himself and come here. Not even we call him. We call him to ask him a question, and he turn up here and he talked on it. You understand me? Yes, so it could turn into a good transfer, but I was just saying that if we just have ambition inside the USL, it might can turn out better for us. So I'm just saying sometimes we should not try to go in those countries that might not be in our favor. The culture is not in our favor. The language, the systems are not the same. Obviously, it's a little bit higher than it's much higher than the USL, so I can understand where people would go with that. But aside from that, nothing else. That's all I'm saying. Um, all right, damn, we got. Kevin, the truth is the truth. The paper is right here. Nobody in Jamaica wrote any paper. You understand me? They just listen to hearsay and whatever, So I don't listen to that. I wait until I get the confirmation outside. That's what I've always said. It takes a lot of discipline. JD, this is why if you can't be self-motivated, we stay. Our comfort zone. True, JD. Yes, man, I understand. But we just sometimes we just try for reason out things to see what's good for the player, because every player that represents Jamaica is equal for us. You understand me? We have the ability to love everybody, the outside, the English guys, them born English, and the born locals. We have equal ability because we are born locals, but clearly we get more social presence, so we can do a little bit more. That's what I've realized, So we have no problem. So if Ximines is doing good, why would I not come here and say Ximines do good? We came here and said Shamar doing very good. Shamar should be in the team. When Liam Bailey does good, we said Liam Bailey do good. You understand me? But sometimes we can't come here and tell you a lie. We have to keep into out there. All right. Big up Urban. Massive respect. Thanks for being here. Drea, big up yourself. Chevan. We're gonna open the discard soon. All right. I remember when they tricked Rabino into a goal long to Man City, because he wasn't aware Man City had two clubs. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. And guys, the reason why we brought up the conversation was to say that we don't want another Maggie case on our hands. Make sure inside the clause they have a must step up clause in the next 1.5 years. Don't sign it. That's what the conversation is. It was nothing to talk about the player itself. It was a deeper conversation. All right, it was a deeper conversation. All right, Martin Baker, big up yourself, man. Post the link under the comment and ask that commenters if they know how to read it. Yeah, they have to just transfer. All right, let me put this one. This should be in English. Yes, this is in English. So let me post this. Let me post this in it, and people can go and get it themselves. So this is the one for Jong Cercle. It should be in English. If it's not in English, all you do is just translate it. it's not translated here. So I think it's in English. This one is in English. So you should be able to read it easily. Sporting Dad, big up yourself, massive respect. Thanks for being here. Some people on YouTube chat too much and don't know nothing. It, I just think it's just miscommunication. It's just miscommunication. But I don't want my name to get in these problems. So if people get information somewhere else, just keep that where it is. For me, I am taking information to do more with it. So it's not no odd feelings or anything. All right. So thanks very much, people, for being here. Yes, let me move over to Mr. Hallgrimsson. So Hallgrimsson spoke today, guys. We are going to play. No, we can't play the clip because YouTube just brought in some rules, so I'm not going to play the clip. All right. So I'm Hallgrimsson's word. Um, we are not scrambling to put new players in. All right. Efficient signings immediately. That's what he's trying to target. Efficient signings immediately. So what he means by that now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna get back to the Bobby Reid side right off the bat. So let me get the Jamaica team right up so we can show you. All right, so Jamaica team, let me get it here. So as you can see, Jamaica team. All right, so all what you know and the players that we think we are short, the areas that we are short in. So we talked about the right back area, center back area. All right, because we talked about the center back area, because we have to look not just let me make sure to click it so you know the players them that played for Jamaica. Let me go at this one. When we get six from Catalonia. So let me go there first. So we're going to pick out a few players out of that. All right. So right back and center back is a problem. Left back at this point, Lambakisa comes in on the list to make up the numbers. Then you have Greg Lee and you have Omari Bell. So we're kind of okay at left back at this point. All right. Yes. So those, before we go into the efficient, he says he's going to start right now with the local players. So that's something that people would love to hear. He's going to start right now with the local players. All right. So that is something what you would love to hear. So he's coming right in to start with the local players immediately. So he's going to start taking tracking at the start. His personal John Wall will go straight down with under 17 and work with Mr. Garden. So it's a lot of things that they are gonna do, man. I love it, guys. So from today, once I come here, I am happy. I am actually happy with everything that's going on. That's why you see me just talking good every single time until they do me wrong. I'm not going to be out here complaining of nothing, because I do believe that what they said can actually work, because this is something that I've been saying for the longest. So we don't want to have any negatives, because our shows have been running very smooth from we heard information. So we don't want to have any negatives in it. All right. So let me try and get up the information right here for the Catalonia game. So the Catalonia game that we had here, I'm trying to bring the report on the screen. Hope you can see it. We had Jordan Cousins in. So we think, because our problem right now, CDM, right back and center back right now. At this point, right back and center back. Obviously, maybe you would say you want the occasional winger or so, but I don't think we have terrible problem at this moment for wingers. All right. I still think we can wait a little if we have to choose 3 areas. Those areas will always be the right back, centre back, and CDM. So Jordan Cousins would be one to come in. For the centre back, Latibodier would be one to come in, obviously, and maybe others as well. You never may know. We talked about a list yesterday, talked about players getting older and stuff. Yes, and we don't know if one would be coming from the JPL as well, or inside the country, because he's saying he's going in there and doing his thing. So that simply means this is things that he said out of his own mouth, guys. It's not information that's hidden. He said it out of his own mouth. So you can go over TVG and just listen to it. He said it out of his own mouth. So he will be looking for players locally. So and he will he will not be in any rush to run to get players, a bunch of players to put in, because he knows that's going to cause confusion and those stuff. Because you have to take your time, trust in the people that you have now, put them in a match. If they fail, then you go and search for the next position and stuff. That's what chop and changing and building the respect. So he's giving people opportunity. That's what I got from his speech. He's giving people opportunity to prove him wrong, and then he moves on from them. All right. Yes. So that's what I got, and I love that. At least he gave back most of these guys the opportunity to go back in. So the normal areas that want the signing, so you will be seeing right backs coming in, centre backs, or CDM. You will see in and around that coming in, because we know that that's a short area that we do have in the team. All right. But if they do get a forward, as what he said, he's not going to turn them back. They have to come and fight for their spot. So they have to come and fight for their spot, period. You get me? So that is the situation now. So let me know if you like the coach talking. I think that it was well said, and he's looking at the JPL players them now. So we're gonna check the JPL specialist, which is Brian Mighty, and then he could maybe give you some of the players them that we should expect to come in. I can only give you a few of certain teams, like the Cavalier team, the Waterhouse team, and the Arnie team. Those are the teams that I've gotten a chances to watch a lot. So I can give you of those teams. All right. Yes, but the other teams I am not so familiar, and maybe the new team that just came up from CC, that uses most of CC players, I could give you from that team as well. So that's how it works, guys. All right. Yes. So let me know what say you. I like the message, the first message from Mr. Hallgrimsson. Yes, I love it. I love how he's doing it. I know you guys would say just go and get the other players them in. Yes, I know that, and I want him to go and get the other players them in, but get the players for the areas that fits, and then put them in, and then if the next players them don't play up to par, then you move on from them. At least they can't say they did not get a chance, and then can't start this big fight. And once the infighting start, it kind of start bring the team down the drain. So you don't want it to go there. All right. All in the chat who love progress, please help to elevate the channel by smashing the like button. Yes, man. We have 134 here. Let me get to 100 likes, if not 200 faster. Let me aim 200 likes on the video, guys. Two position, right back and DM. Centre back is in it. Centre back is in it just the same. All right. Centre back is in it just the same. Because remember, Mariappa, he's getting older. So Mariappa, we might have to move on from him soon. Yeah, because he's getting older. You understand me? So you have to still have pieces that you can drop into to grow. All right. So we have some younger centre backs, and then we have some older centre backs. All right. So you have to have in between that they can learn and build up to come at this point. But when we said learn and build up to come at this point, we don't mean people coming from the Manning Cup. We mean quality players that are actual top tier, but they have to come in this system, because what I've learned, and the Concacaf region is completely different from an English region. Obviously, you can play football the same, but it might not translate as fast as possible. So you need the persons with the most experience to bring you over that line faster. All right. Bless up, John Powell. Massive respect. Glad to hear that the coach reached safely. Yes, he's here and he's doing his thing. TikTok said, JD, I am amazed that you live in Belgium and don't seem to know about club operation. Ximines signed a pro contract with Cercle Brugge, who placed him with their young Cercle team to finish the season. All right. So what did I say, TikTok? I don't know what you're talking about. So when next year come, you will know, TikTok. All right. And you have other players that came in and go straight in the national, the big team as well. So I don't know what you're getting with. I don't think it's a fighting conversation. I think you just miss the whole conversation. That's all. You just missed the whole conversation. All right? Yes, I think you missed the entire conversation. Smart to take a measured approach. Can't just change out the whole team at once. All right, all right. So that's what Jason says. All right. So JD, are you saying he will pick players from JPL to fit this? No, 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 no. He says he's going to check. He's going to inspect the JPL, see what's necessary, and Jamaica football overall. He's going to take these 2 weeks, inspect everything. All right. and then assess and set up his thing. He's not gonna just be taking information from outside only. He's gonna scan everywhere because remember they are doing talent identification as well. So everything is necessary. So I have no problem. I love that. So we'll get to know more about the players then because once he speaks, I tend to believe him a little bit more. So I would wait to hear back from him. Yes. Um, well, TikTok can say what he's saying, Umzo. The problem is, as what Mr. Speed said, Jamaicans know too much. And that's their problem. They don't know when to say they don't know something. They know everything from everywhere. It's a disease in our culture. And very few of us really know anything. You get me? So that is the big problem. So TikTok, I'm not gonna fight with him. He knows what he knows. So we will wait until next year. You understand me? But at the end of the day, my information still stands. He's not in the national team, so you don't look for those games to see him playing in. And that's how we were trying to tell the people. So remember, if you had heard the first statements, it would have said that he would be playing against these people this season, but that's not the case. So we have made our statement clear, and we're done. We move on. Ximines, Topi, Latid Bodier, Talbot, and Thomas start at the back. Dylan Barnes in this team as well. Omari Hutchison, Ramon Oil, Jordan Cousins, Flemings, and Clark played in this game, and they had Maggie, and those guys came off the bench. All right, we still have Maggie. Maggie's a young player, and if we are going to talk about most of the players inside Jamaica, I think let me tell you guys, if we are going to go for people inside Jamaica, like inside the JPL and those stuffs, Maggie. Maggie and those guys Maggie, Chong, and those guys are going to come back into question because even though they might not be getting game, Maggie not getting game in the big leagues, is training him itself is still as difficult as the JPL as well. So you cannot just write them off and just jump from JPL to up foreign countries. You have to put these guys back in it as well. So even as bad as we are not the biggest fan of Fleming, Fleming would have come back into the frame. Alva Spole would have come back in the frame. Once you're doing that, once you're looking for JPL players, you have to look for these guys. So Tariq Magee is still young. Tariq Magee is still actually young. Tariq Magee is 23 years old. So what I'm asking people, I have heard people keep on talking about young players and they need this and they need that. Tariq Magee is still 23. So if I'm going to be picking a young player out of the Manning Cup, I would actually go on and pick Maggie out of Cassiope Pen. We have all of these young players, the Walkers and the Tariq Maggies. So why is it we want to throw away them and just go straight back to the Manning Cup and JPL? It's like we throw out a middle class. You understand me? They are training and playing at a higher level just the same. So they are going to be into the frame just the same, not because they're not getting any game. I think the coach will actually pick one of them before he directly goes in the JPL. You get me? Yes, I think he will. He would have actually done that because these guys they have to be in a stay ready attitude at all times. So Maggie and those guys would get back into the team if that's the case. You get me? Because they are training at a higher level. If that's what you want to say, and they are playing other sub matches, not official matches, but sub matches at a higher level. All right. Who people look at it that way. So before we jump and talk about the young players, we actually have young players. No, we have these young players. Paris, Kaim Paris, Kaim Paris, Paris, Kaim Paris is still young. Kaim Paris is still young. Kaim Paris is 23 years old. So the amount of 23 years old we have from the local side, I don't even think we necessarily need to go back into the JPL, to be honest. The amount of 23 years old we had that broke through, Lamar Walker, Kaim Paris, Maggie, the next two, and what's the name of those guys? We have like nine 23 years old that broke through Jamaica already and they've left Jamaica. So why would we go back into Jamaica to make a different core? These guys are going to be the second set of guys. They are going to be the second set of guys. Anyone that does not make the first team are going to be in the second set of guys. So I think most of the JPL players and the Manning Cup players will be the third string set of guys. The Jamaica pool is deep, guys, and that only spells positivity. Say that we can reach places because the quality, if we're telling you that you have man overseas that might not even get into the first team, you see where we're landing now. That's how we have the conversation. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to open the phone line. I'm going to open the phone line. I'm going to try and get Bobby Reid up because Bobby Reid did play today. So we talk about Bobby Reid a little and then we come back to this conversation, all right? Because this is the conversation we're going to have, all right? And let me know, guys. Call in. Let me know. I will drop the number and you have the Discord in the description of the video. You can actually call in. Call in via the WhatsApp if you're calling in, all right? 562471. All right. Let me see. Ximines came in at the middle of the season and will finish at the season with the young Cercle Brugge. Stated that they are looking for him to advance to the first team. He did not sign for the U23. He's playing in the U23, and if you go everywhere and everything, you see him in the U23 TikTok. So just, I don't know what is wrong with you. Your ego is too big, TikTok. All right. Yes, he's there, and that's where you're gonna see him for the rest of the season. And by your logic, he should be in the first team next season. Just watch and see, and then we'll report that next season that he's in the first team. All right. So we don't have the weight. We don't have we don't have the weight for we don't have the fight now TikTok. We can just wait until next season. TikTok, that is just called reality. So let me just wait till next season. All right, yes, let me wait till next season and continue that. Once he goes up, we said good job Tarick McGee, and now you're on Jamaica's radar back again because now you up your game, you know, simple as that. But we're not going to talk about Ximines and those guys to be in no team, you understand me, because they're not playing at the level that you really want. You get me? Yes, that's what I'm saying at this point. But once he goes up, we are grateful. That's a next Jamaican help we can get. But we have enough people, enough young people just the same. All right? Enough young people just the same that's playing professional. All right? We don't need to force anything. And we have recorded these videos so we know the players them what are available at all times. So anyways, Bobby Reid. Bobby Reid today he got a low score, you know. But if you watch the game, you would not have given him that low score. He got a 6.3 today, one of the worst numbers on the field. If you watch the game, let me know if you agree with it because I am purposely not agreeing with Bobby Reid's record today because I think he was way better than this. He was the one. Obviously, I think why he got the 6.3 is because he hit the bar. I talked about the shot. He ran onto the shot, get right into the 18-yard box, strike it, and hit the top, it hit the crossbar. It is a big chance, you know, but it's not as close as a tap in. You know, it's not as close as a tap in. So it is a big chance, but it's not as close as a tap in. So that's why he got that. But right after that, he was the one that has set up the goal. Obviously, the goalkeeper, Shalaba tipped off the ball, dropped it to Willian. Willian cut inside and it deflected. So that's why he never got the assist. But if you watch the game, he created the goal as well. So really and truly, he could be up there for one of the best players on the pitch. You get me? But he never got the eye stats if you're just looking at the game. But he played way better than a 6.3 because he was the one that made the goal out of nothing, out of just pressing back to win the ball. He tried to take on a player, missed the tackle, then go back in and won the ball and drive down to the byline and whip it over the top, and Shalaba it back to Willian. So he created that out of nothing. So I think overall, for me, obviously, they knew why they gave him a 6.3. I'm gonna put it up right here so you can get to see. But this is a big win for Fulham, and he keeps on pushing on. All right, yes. So let me read the super chat right here. Church of Maggie need to reopen. Well, I think it's gonna reopen. You know, JD, what position does Paris play? Paris can play all three positions up front. That's what they've said, and that's what's listed for him. But I think he's more of a winger though. more than anything else. All right, Bobby Reid play good, yes man, but they never gave him the assist, and they gave him the big chance, the big missed. So obviously it will go down to 6.3. All right, but if you watch the game, it was not a 6.3, and it was not. It was. Let me say. It was a good chance. It was a good chance. Yes. Let you guys describe that chance for me. Describe that chance for me. You describe that chance if you class it as a big chance, because I am not 100% sure if it's on the borderline to be a big chance, because that's on the 18-yard line, All right, he ran inside, right inside, and kick it instant, Never touch anything. He just struck it and hit the crossbar, boom, and fly off. All right, so let me know. What say you? They didn't count it as a big chance. All right, good, good, good. That makes perfect sense, because I thought that he never controlled it inside the 18-yard box, so I don't think it should be counted as a big chance. It was a great opportunity. And he struck it right, Yes, agreed. Bobby played well. All right, permanent, temporary close. All right, TikTok said, not my logic. That is what Cercle Brugge stated in the European Football Club placed. You players were they think will get them ready for the first team. They don't sign contracts with the clubs. Okay, all right. Well, they have like 11 players there, TikTok, that signs contract with the club, and they have not moved up for the last 1.5 years. All right. TikTok, yes. So that's why I said it's something to look into, and that's why me and Mr. Spade, your friend, had the conversation on it, and he was not liking the deal either. All right. So that was the conversation. It's not to put down the player. It was more on to see if he had took a different route, how good it could have turned out for him. All right. Even though Chelsea is my team, I wanted him to score that chance. It was more of a half chance after I see it back. And yes, man. I think he struck it from a little bit further. To quote Drake, in his Jamaican accent, we can't done. Reid has been consistently good this season. Yes, I think he's the best Jamaican player by a good stretch. Ethan Pinnock, if he can have 3, 4 more consecutive games like this, then we can talk if it's either him or Ethan Pinnock. You get me? But it's clear he's the clear best one. He's the clear best player right now for Jamaica. He's not even close. Every single game, he has been consistently causing problems. Fulham showed up today to win, and that is what they did. How far you think this team can really go, guys? Because this team come out, we all said that they would have gotten relegated. They are literally in sixth position at this point. But let me get the Bobby Reid, because we don't want to not read his stats. Worst off, he gets low. Because I know all people say, they will come and say, oh, we don't want to read his stats, because it's not as good as what we think. No, man, we want to read it. All right. So he played 68 minutes. Expected goal 0.06, which is a lower one than what we first expected. Touches 34. His accuracy and passes was 19. 10 out of 19, which is 53. A little bit lower, but remember, they are playing a higher level team. Whether or not we don't want to rate Chelsea, we tend to see that it drops. Ethan Pinnock, Leon Bailey, all of them, their stats drop when they're playing the bigger team, because they are on the lower team, and they tend to drop back and get pressed. So you to connect your lines between your midfield or your centre back to your midfield, or your midfield to your forward line, it's harder, because they can camp in between your third of the pitch at all times. You understand me? So that always pose a super amount of problems for you. So that's why you don't see the passing be the greatest. I think if these guys were on bigger teams, they would have done massively better. But that's still okay. 2 crosses, as what we said, that cross actually turned out to be a goal and should have been registered an assist. But they said no goal, no cross on it. It was not successful. But it was actually, it turned out to be a goal. All right. Shot off target 1. I think that's the same one that it would work. No, but that one off target and one it would work. and two offsides in the game. One tackle, the one that he tackled and won the ball there. All right, so that's good. That's good from him. So let me move on towards the Jamaica one. I'm gonna open the Discord so people can call in and give their take. All right, so um TikTok, we don't need to argue at all. We just said wait until next season. If you see him move up, kudos to him. But if I'm not gonna build up the Jamaican people's expectation, and then when they fail, we have a problem. So I'm gonna tell them as it is. He's at Jong Cercle at this point. We will wait until next season to see if he moves up. All I can tell you guys, we have some people inside the circle. They are there for a little while and they have not transitioned due to the fact that Young Cercle, Cercle Brugge start doing well and they brought in other individuals. So it's harder for you to step up. All right, because they have individuals that are registered, good ballers. Let me try and go there. All right, so let me just click it here before we go into it. So let me just deep dive just to show you, so you can be much more informed on it. All right, 350k the market value of the team itself. Table position second they are in league since 1 year. So they just move up in the league. So they are doing good. So that's why I said the football is not as bad as what we think. Average age 18.9, as you can see there. You have 17 years old, 19 years old, 21. You can click him. Jeff Van der Maal. Here you can check him and see how long he's there. All right, so and he's 21. And then I'm going to go for the main team and show you the reason why some of them cannot just transition into the next team, because you have solid players in the next team already and they have bought top tier players in certain positions. So that is the problem. All right. JD, I told you that Fulham will be in the top 6 and you don't believe me. Bobby Reid was his usual self, playing for 15 minutes of the game. He missed a good open chance, hitting the post. Fulham was lucky. Joy Felix got sent off. Oh, he's a Chelsea fan. He is a Chelsea fan. That's why. All right, let me open the Discord. Sorry about that, guys, but let me just go through this just to show you what happened. And it's easy, guys. You can go on these things and see for yourself. All right, I don't necessarily need to tell you that. All right, we'll open the lobby so people that want to join the show can come in the show. All right, yes. So these are the individuals here, and you can see Tarick Ximines right here in it. All right, so it says here Tarick Ximines right here. Let me maximize it for you so you get a chance to see it. And so Tarick Ximines right here on the list. So it's a lot of individuals there. And as you can see, right back, 21 years old, January, he's in it. Tarick Ximines is the second right back there. One left back in it, centre back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Centre backs in it, 2, 3 goalkeepers. So they have a lot of people there. All right, they have a lot of people there. So guys, you can go and check these things for yourself. So when TikTok says they're gonna step up and go over there, that's not how it works. Just like how I told you for what's the guy for France. Junior Flemings, I told you that when Zachariah came in, I told you about the situation, because he said, I don't know nothing about my own country. Well, I told you that Zachariah coming from Netherlands, and there's no way Junior Flemings will get game over him. He came in the League 1, and he played well. He go to the World Cup. He had goals in the World Cup as well. There is no way Junior Flemings getting game over him. So it's a competitive field, guys. This is not Jamaica, you know, guys. This is not Jamaica. It's based on how you play. That's what they use to determine. All right, you don't get any spot. You don't get any guaranteed spot. And that's why I said the only thing I would love for in his contract is to say that if you don't get certain game, you're subjected to move or a loan. That's all I'm saying. JD, you should try to educate the people that when 18-year-old Jamaicans sign, they don't transition to first team right away. No, but we know that. We know that TikTok. But TikTok, the problem is people come to me and tell me that's what they thought would have happened TikTok. All right, no, no, we're getting somewhere, TikTok. That's what people came to me and told me. They said I should expect to see Ximines in the big team, and I said, I don't know. Wait, you were on the stream, TikTok. You were on that stream, and I said, no, let me wait and see how it goes, because in Belgium it's a little bit different. But I said that TikTok before the deal even completed. I said, wait, because I know Belgium works. So that goes to show that I knew what would happen, but I wanted to wait, and then I can tell them. All right, yes. So I am actually right, TikTok, and you're burning me out. But I've said all good things. I've said the accurate thing at all times. But all I'm saying, TikTok and people, don't. It's going to be a tough road ahead. All right, we're going to go. So he has one right back to compete with here. All right, and we're going to go into the team itself, in the main team, to show you. So it's not going to be a sure go up to the level. That's why you have contracts and you have good agents to make sure you work out these things. You understand me? To make sure you work out these things. That's what I'm talking about, and that's what we were talking about with Mr. Spade. All right, that's what we were talking about, So I think people lost it in transition, that what we were talking about. All right, so we are going to go to the main team now, which is Cercle Brugge. For you, 1 second. All right, just to make sure you get it. All right, Cercle Brugge. All right. Oh, they lost. Damn. All right, so we get it right here for you, just to show you. So we show you that that's in the direct team that he will be challenged. Let me take off this. All right, this should be all right. All right, so 26 million market value, their team sits at, and their average age, that is the only good thing I like. Their average age is 23. 0.5. So that simply show you that they believe in youth. All right, they believe in youth. 26, their size squad is. All right, 65% foreigners, which is good as well. It showcases that they will go there and investing in people. All right, so you see the Brazilians in the squad, Belgian in the squad. There, center back 2 million in the squad. The right back you have from Belgium. Let me minimize it for you. Hope you can see it, guys. We're trying to get it for you right here. From Belgium, you have Robbie. He's one of the right back, 500,000. So it's okay, good. You have one right back, 3 left backs. Okay, so this might be a position that will be vacant. You have 1 right back and 3 left backs, all right, in the club. So it's possible if Ximines works hard, he could get the space, all right? He could get the space, but he has to rival one other individual. You saw the facts tell it all, guys. You saw the facts tell it all. So, and that's exactly what Mr. Hallgrimsson trying to do as well. Try to build on what you got. All right, so you have 1 right back here in the normal team and 1 right back in the under 23. So he has 2 right backs to compete with at this point. All right, I don't believe it, JD. I don't see a lot of people expecting the 18-year-old Jamaica. No, TikTok. That is exactly what people came in my chat and told me. And I said, no, I would wait. The video is there, TikTok. And that's why we react to it. And that's why we brought the information. That's how we said we were gonna wait. Belgium is very competitive. They bring you in to sell you, yeah, but they played you as well. And I think this team is okay to play him, because playing him will get market value up. But the good thing is, they sold players from even lower level. So if they realize that maybe Ximines signed a smart deal, and he's producing and he's not producing enough to raise the level, they will just sell him to somewhere else and then make something off him. You get me? Yes. No, man, TikTok not saying anything bad. TikTok's just reasoning. All right. So I think I've opened the Discord so people can come in the Discord and give their take. But that is the situation at hand, guys. If you're fascinated with the Ximines situation, it's not complicated. It's not complicated at all. All right. It's very, very, very simple. What's going on? You jump up to our next league, which is high in Europe. They have players in abundance, as you can see, and they decided that they are going to let you start at a lower level, and depending on what you do, you can rise, or the next person in a place can rise. But the only difference now, when I check the next person kind of familiar with the surroundings, so maybe he was already setting in a little bit faster than you. So it can go two ways. If Ximines jump ahead of that person, that would mean we have to give him credit. We have to give him extra credit because he jumped ahead of a person that used to the region and he was there. You understand me? And then if he doesn't jump ahead of him, it only goes to show that competition is fierce and he might be adapting a little bit slower than what we expect. All right, maybe that would be the situation, but it's a competitive thing at this point, and let him just try and work hard. But if you don't see him, it's not because he's not working hard. He's just in a developmental stage to get better. That's all we are saying, and I think that is fair to everyone. All right. Yeah, let me move on now, because we don't have much time. We just reached an hour in the stream. Hope the people smash the like button, guys. That we aim for 200 likes on the video. 200 likes is not hard. You guys are here, so to support what we do. Leave your thoughts. Ximines spent some time at Brugge before they signed him. They know what they have. I don't care what Spade said. He got good opportunity at no, I no Spade never talk anything bad that way. TikTok Spade, he was just saying that maybe maybe the big jumps and then go back to a lower tier at the start and then they have to assess you. All right, look TikTok, but you can look at it two ways. Educationally, we're going to talk about that right after this. I revives. We're going to bring him up. Let me bring up Hutchison right here before we go into the Jamaica squad. But let me don't finish. Let me don't go off that point. All right. Educational wise, TikTok. Um, you jump to a fourth tier right now, and no, you jump to a deal, and look, guys, look at this. The TikTok admittedly stated that they saw him for 1 year already. They saw him for 1 year already. So if they saw him for 1 year already, why they sent him to the 23s just to see him? Because they know that he's not ready. And they know that he will need more time because they assessed him already and know what is needed to get him up to that level. But they still believe that it's possible that he could get up to that level. So they are going in, just being objective to say that yes, we like this player. Let me see if he can translate up to that level. But they know that he's not at that level TikTok because they had him before and know what he can offer. But they know that he's not good enough to play now. He would need some work on. So TikTok, with all of that now, TikTok, I don't think Mr. Speed said anything wrong because they looked at you before. You understand me? And they never just throw you into the main team. They said they want to evaluate you after season's end. You get me? So I think Mr. Speed is looking out for the better of the player to say that he would love to see him playing games and building up himself because you players need to play games. All right? Yes. So I think we have Jason in the chat. Jason, how are you doing? Can you join? So expect.
I'm good. I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. So we are transitioning out from Ximines situation, but I've just said something to TikTok saying that TikTok, you jump up and said that they assessed him a year ago. That makes it even worse because they assessed him a year ago, but don't pick him to go straight in the main team. That simply means they don't believe that you're going to make the step up instant. They believe that you're a developmental player. That's exactly because they took enough time to evaluate you. So not because they assessed you a year ago means that it's something good for you. You get me? It might mean that they know exactly what the level that you are and are what they assessed you to be, and they want to put you there and see what happens. You get me? So it can be a risk. You get me? That's all. So I think Mr. Speed was okay with his point when he's saying that maybe other he could have took other options and play. So let me know, guys, if you're okay with this deal or you're saying that he could have took other options. I think I would have been open to other options, to be honest. If you get a MLS club, if you get a Costa Rican club, if you get a USL club, and you're sure you're gonna get game time, and it's in a region, I would have took it. What say you on that, Jason? Or you look at it different?
I look at it. I look at it like I will always lean to the side of Europe when it comes to development.
So you're saying that
I
you don't let
know.
him stay in Europe regardless. You're not putting him in the MLS or not MLS, USL. You wouldn't take a USL
No,
contract.
I think at this stage, if he has the opportunity to go to even the development level of a European club,
Mm-hmm.
especially a club like Cercle,
Mm-hmm.
who, by based on their average age, are not able to give young players a chance in the top team, I don't mind this move for him.
Okay, okay, all right. So see, Jason said he's okay with this move, but you understand you understand Mr. Speed point, right? And my point as well, right?
I do,
Okay.
because there's a chance that if he goes to there, because what I noticed in their youth team, there's a lot of young Belgians in the team,
Mm-hmm.
and it could be a case where the players that they buy internationally and actually use in the first team, I would like to see how many of those players actually came through the same channel as him,
Yes, 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 yes. And that's what I'm
and
working
see
on now.
if there's a success rate when a player comes from overseas. I noticed that there was a Mexican as well in
Mm-hmm.
that team. So I would like to see if there's a history of Concacaf region players going to these small leagues and then
Okay,
developing into the
that's
first
a good
team.
way to look at it as well. That's definitely a good way to look at it. Yeah, we're gonna definitely look at it. We are gonna all right. So guys, for the Ximines, we are gonna do some more digging. I said I want to go and see him. I want to go and see him play. I want to go and see him play. I'm gonna try and get the schedule so we can see when he's gonna start and we can go there. All right, and check it out for ourselves. But not just see him. We want to see the other players as well because we want to get some information to
Yes, see
see
the
how.
level of the
Yeah.
opponents, yes,
Yes,
and
yes.
his teammates.
So we're
Yes,
gonna take our time and go there one time. We're gonna make a plan, tell you when the plan will go in, get in effect, and then we're gonna go there and see for ourselves. All right. So you don't have to worry. It goes to show that when we say we are doing something, we're serious at it. But you're acting as if starting with the young Brugge after coming in the middle of the season is a bad thing. No, it's not a bad thing. But you keep on saying starting with the young team. It's not a surety that he's going to move into the big team TikTok after the season ends. That's what I'm saying to you. They're going to evaluate you, and if they think you need a next season in there, which more likely you saw that 21 years old in it, and they never came there at 21 years old. They were here for a while. Others move up, others sold and move on. You understand me? So let we wait until next year, Big Boss. All right. It's a very good deal if you ask me. No for USL. Okay. El Padrino said, "Big up the real ones and the sheeps." All right, he wanted to go to Europe because that's where every kid wants to play. Okay, I know, but you can go to Europe via different channels. All right, that's all I'm saying. But I'm okay. He's right where he needs to be growth. Okay, so everyone kind of okay with that. All right, then fair enough. Fair enough. I have no problem. Development and not money. Good development over money and playing time. They see good in him. That's why they took him. All right. So, all right. At least you're saying if it doesn't work out the best way, at least he gets the development to go at a higher level in his own region. Then, all right. That is fair. That is fair. But I have to look at
yeah,
other side.
Because JD, when you really look at it, what could really be the negatives from this? He's going to be training in a professional
No the
environment.
negatives.
He's going to be with,
No, you ask me
huh?
what would you consider as the negatives? What would you consider the negative?
Yes.
He spends 2 seasons in it, and maybe they saw that he's not. No, look, remember, this is the problem. The team is on an upward trajectory. So you see, if they do better this season, they are going to be buying other players to compete and sustain it. Worse if they qualify for the Champions League, which is not looking likely at the moment, but it's possible just the same. All right.
Okay, so it's a situation where if the team improves at a rate faster
Yes,
than him,
you could be left
it will
behind, and
just be
that's a
more
problem. Yeah,
competition
because
coming in every
you,
season.
you
Okay,
know how
yeah.
European team goes, especially Belgian teams. So that will just make them have to bulk up a lot of people, and then you get pushed off 2 years, and that is 2 year out of a 2.5 year. Obviously, you're gonna get the development. We know that. We understand that's better than Jamaica and better than the whole of the Concacaf region. We know that. But the problem is, I just always want, because when you play, you feel good. It builds your momentum and stuff. You understand me? If you over a year you're training every day and not really getting in the game, after 2 years, obviously you're getting paid. Obviously, I heard TikTok talked about that, but I'm not just sold on getting paid. I want to do a little bit more, because sometimes when you sweat, you want to, and you learn something, you want to put it out back on the field. But as you said, you guys said he's young, and yeah, but don't want him to be 20 and not getting any game, because if you're not getting any game and you're still with the under 23s, I strongly believe that you can't make the national team. You understand me? Because other people doing so much better in different regions, it's gonna be hard, and then you're just gonna be stuck in a place for 2 years and not getting any game, none at all. So you see what I'm talking about, big boss? That's all I'm saying to people. So sometimes when I'm evaluating things, I'm just evaluating it from a different level. It is not nothing that I'm fighting against. I'm just worried about the situation, because remember, I'm here, so I know what's going on. So that's all I'm coming from. Development, all right. No need to argue that it is a good deal. Um, that is why I am amazed that JD doesn't know that it's almost 18-year-old development. Um, the thing, TikTok, most of the 18-year-olds that we have that came from different countries, they came in as special talents. So majority of them, they come in and play TikTok. That is the problem. You understand me? Some of them come from 16 years old, go in the academy and then grow. So that's different from Ximines. Ximines is already 18. So the Ximines package would be Ben, my boy from Costa Rica package, Jason.
Bennett, Jewison, yeah,
He
Bennett.
would have been the the Bennett's package. He would have been the Stevens the Jedi package. He would have been he would have been Lazard from under 20 package. He would have been the guy from 80. He would have been the Aronson package, because that's the age that he has. You understand me? So when they're picking you, they're
Yeah,
picking you as the main the special talent youth player. So that's the package that I thought. So it's okay, TikTok, it's okay. I'm just saying that most of the players them that moved in the 20s, they moved as special players, and they got their money. They got their money for them. So that's all I'm saying still. TikTok, but it's okay, TikTok. Hutchinson, we don't have any much time, and we don't want to take up too much of the people time here. All right, but let me know your thoughts on all of the topic, them guys. All right, and if you're new, please do subscribe to the channel, share, and share it all around, all right? Share it all around, all right? And definitely engage. We want to hear from you. Brother gave Ximines a 2.5 year contract with an option for another year. They are willing to wait on his development. We should not criticize trying to prove that Jamaican youth no good. But TikTok, what? That's my problem. Jason, what you got that from the conversation?
Jerry,
No, no. We understand where TikTok trying to go, because nobody got that from the conversation. TikTok, what are you talking about? We are trying to talk about the project, the trajectory of the club and the player, and saying that maybe it's not balanced and we don't. But TikTok, we said you're okay with the deal. Let we leave it alone, TikTok. I came here just to prove to the people, educate the people, and the deal, and we move on. All right, let me move on. Now we're going to talk about Hutchinson. All right, and then we continue our conversation. So Hutchinson,
Jerry,
yes, yes, yes. We're hearing you, Sheridan. We're hearing you.
can I say something real quick?
Yes, yes. Go ahead now.
Can you please not let TikTok mash up the stream, please?
Yeah, but TikTok not mashing up the stream. I just answer to him, because I said I know where he's coming to.
And that's the whole reason why
But
he came
the
on, bro.
stream not mashed up. I am just
He's
moving
trying to
up to the.
sway this stream.
I am moving.
You're just in TikTok too much.
Yeah, but if you come in, I just said I'm moving ahead to Hutchinson, and then you
Okay,
come
please
in.
do not revenue more TikTok comment, please. Thank you.
Anyways, Hutchinson. Um, he never played today, so that's why we never really put him in the headline, all right? Because we are watching all of these young kids that's playing at a higher level, and we are definitely watching. But Umzo, we had said that we are moving on from Ximines. We just tried to clear up the conversation. All right. So Hutchinson never played. We have to watch him close. We have to watch him close. For the rest of the, maybe for 1 week more. All right. If he doesn't play again, we have to start look out to see if he wants to go other places or he wants to stay and fight for his spot. We saw Chelsea made a signing today, and he's instant in the team. Obviously, he got a red card, but based on the play, he looked okay. You guys thought Jai Felix looked? I definitely believe that he looks better than Omari Hutchison off the top. And he just came in a club in 1 day and came in and he looks like he deserved to be there. Obviously, he got the red card. So people will talk about the red card. But before that, he was the shining light for Chelsea. What say you?
Yeah, I think Felix was basically the only light for Chelsea for that game today. Every time he got the ball, especially in the first half, something happened. You can see that he just has another level that some of the current Chelsea players can't really get to. Some of them I think they're just not good enough. Some of them I think it's just the way the team is looking right now and the form they're in. But I think it's going to be tough for Omari right now because even before Felix got there, the last game they played, everybody got injured, and options came off the bench before Omari that he would want to be getting on ahead of, like the young man Chukwumeka,
Mm-hmm.
um, and some of the other attacking options. So I think with Felix coming in now, clearly is going to be one to be starting.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Omari, may have to look at himself and figure out, with Chelsea being out of most of the cups now, does he look to go and maybe try to get a loan move to get more games, or does he stay and fight? Um, I think for his Jamaica future, it might be best for him to try to get away from Chelsea on loan
Mm-hmm.
for the next 6 months and try to secure a starting place somewhere, whether that's lower down in the EPL or in the Championship.
Okay, okay. Um, That this brother, oh, he's off. He's off. He's not in the chat. Okay. All right. So what say you guys on Hutchinson? I think he should stay because yesterday I told Balakar that he should stay, and fight, and then today, if he came in and played so well, and then if they have to bring in the additional pieces that they do have, it's looking like it's going to be a tough one. All I have to say, if he gets game from this point, it goes to show what respect they do have for him. That's all I have to say. But it's looking tougher and tougher because they're looking at they're bringing in ready-made players, and once you're bringing in ready-made players, it tend to always help you a little bit more. All right, so that's all I can say at this point. But it's looking tough for Hutchinson, but we'll keep our eyes on him and keep on showing him some respect. Lamba Kisa never played as well in their defeat. They lost to Nottingham Forest on penalties, so we never got a chance to see him. So we're still looking out, guys. We're still looking out. These players are playing well. Jamaica have an extended core. That's all I can say at this point. All right. Loan would be the best option coming from El Padrino. How is that good for him? No, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he can. The difference, Owen. You can just marvel in training, and then the coach says, I'm gonna play, So you don't know the
Well,
man.
JD, I would agree with you in most circumstances, but you have to put it in the context of Chelsea right now. They're
Mm-hmm.
in 10th place, and even though this coach is someone that wants to bring forward the youth, he has to find a balance between that and trying to find a result. And as you said, they have too many ready-made options. And for him to come out and say, okay, I'm going to play Omari over all these ready-made people, if it doesn't work for him, I don't think he has the clout to look at the media and tell them I picked Omari because I want Omari to play. He's gonna have to just pick an option that maybe he won't get ridiculed for because he's Graham Potter and not another big name manager that maybe has a little more clout. So I think that is working against Omari as well.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Guys, let me hear what you have to say. The phone line is open. You can call in the persons that have the number. You call in and give your take. The discard is open. Let me know what say you on the Omari Hutchison situation. We had done a video today talking about Michail Antonio because a lot of our players in tough positions and want to move around. We don't hear as much for Shamar, so we're going to touch on the Michail Antonio situation now and then go back to the Hallgrimsson situation. But before we go anywhere, we have 170 people here and we have half of that unlike. So let me get the likes up on the video now, guys. Let me see if we can go to 150, if not 200. 200, we should try to target. The problem is, guys, if you don't hit the like button, don't support the video, more people won't come here. So if you want the channel to stay like this, and you say that we give you authentic information, that simply means you just want to hold back the people that's actually talented. All right, so that's all I can say. So if you want that, you just take your time, hit the like button, share and subscribe, get it up to 200. If not, what can I say? Then don't tell me how good we are doing. Then that simply means you don't support hard work. Then I think Omari need to stay and fight for a spot. That's coming from Island Cart. Wow. Omari need to build from the championship or another league. Wow. I love that. Yeah, I love that. And I want the people inside Jamaica look how people talk fear on the outside players them. I wish the day that we can just talk so straightforward when we are talking about a local player. I wish the day, you know? Yes. Igor probably said Omari Hutchison needs a loan deal just like Jamal Lowe. He needs playing time. All right, fair enough. Eddie Guna said Omari fault. He should have stayed at Arsenal. Jesus God. That just going like another Arsenal man when me know you see man, but me not got talk still. At least the man get a few games. All right. Yes, that's all I'm gonna say.
Me go through all me bring up the main thing here, but Eddie gonna bring it.
Okay, uh, all right. So Antonio. Let me bring Antonio right up here. Jamaican football highlights. Big up yourself. Thanks for being here. Owen, he definitely would not be playing at Arsenal. See, that's what I'm saying. Man left Arsenal thinking he was gonna go to a better team. Should have stayed with the camp. The man do what he has to do. That's how life is. Why are we fighting the mans? So, anyways, now the man commented under this video. He was the one that commented under the Ximines video, and then he was the one came under the Antonio video. His statement for Antonio saying that Antonio should have been glad that he's on a bench in the Premier League. Do you agree with that statement?
Wow.
Do you agree with that statement? Because on one of the video he said I should stop undermine Ximines. Ximines deal, and then he went on Antonio and said that Antonio should be glad to be on a bench in a Premier League team. I don't know what is wrong with it. Guys, you think Antonio were to be on a bench team? A bench in a Premier League, or you think he could be a starter for a plethora of teams in the Premier League? I think he could be a starter for a super amount of teams. Believe me, Antonio can even help City because of the way he plays.
I think every team in the Prem would take him.
Every team, but
I don't think every team in the Prem would start him.
Yeah, he would make the
but I
starting
think
team.
I think any team in the Prem would take him as an option.
This is sad the way some people. So you see, anywhere I see the man again, the disrespect him put by Antonio name. It's just sad. You get me? Antonio is and 32 guys, 32-year-old in football now. We just proved that Luka Modric, Messi terrorized the World Cup. We have to be honest to ourselves. Messi terrorized the World Cup, and we see Luka Modric terrorized the World Cup. Pepe played good. Even my boy from Liverpool, ex-Liverpool player, came back and played well.
Lovren.
Lovren, you saw all of those 30-year-old man play older than Michail Antonio, and we are out here talking about
Saiz.
Saiz played well. We never know much about him before coming in, and he played well. So it's all of the older players them played well. So why are we out here talking about a 32-year-old is an old player? My boy that played for Fulham, that went for United States. How old do you think he is? He's around 35.
Tim Ream is now 34 or 35.
34 or
Yeah, one of them.
35, Tim Ream. All right, so why are
Yeah.
we out here talking? But I know why he did that. At least Antonio not playing in a fourth tier. No, Kevin, no, don't bother say that, because that's what people are gonna use to start a local to overseas problem, man. But I'm just trying to show you how we can talk freely on one side, but we can't talk freely. People with skill will last longer. Yeah, I understand TikTok. I understand that people with skill will last longer. But I think Antonio's skill set, which is maybe not the dribbling technical side, but the physical.
I'm glad you bring that up, JD, because
The
skill don't necessarily always
Yeah, no,
mean,
physical is a
flair and step over.
physicality is actually a skill
There
as
are
well,
different skill
Yeah,
sets.
physicality is a part of a skill set as well, Antonio have that,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So that's why I went to that type of skill set. He is actually the big, fast, and strong that Jamaica tried to look for always, So I'm surprised that people never took on to him a little bit more, because he's the actual big, fast, and strong that Jamaica always describe ourselves on. He's a big, fast, and strong. You get me? Yeah, so it's surprise, guys. Antonio can still play for half of this team in the Premier League. I'm not asking, I'm telling you. He would struggle in a Spain team, or maybe he would do well in a Spain team. I think he can play in Italy as well. You get me? Based on what he has.
Even the game today, Chelsea down a man, need a goal. Havertz look like he's not gonna score, and he doesn't use Aubameyang. If he had Antonio on the bench, he put him on.
Yeah. Richard. Christian said, comparing. No, we are not comparing. Christian, you come back again with the foolishness, Christian, because you said we for move away from Antonio yesterday. Christian, we are not using a bad example. I've called 50 man name, and you only pick Messi and talk about Messi. You saw Christian wicked. You saw Christian wicked. Jason. The man here, me call a billion man name, and the man said, me I compare Messi to Antonio. My God, man. Andrew 55 said, JD, as long as you pass 25, you're old in Jamaica. A sample place. Okay, wow. Thank you for being full, because I don't know why Christian, him come here yesterday and tell me say me have a B-Tech YouTube channel. Because when the big YouTube channel them starting at night, and then him a call out Antonio. So me don't know how him in Europe and a fight against me and Antonio. So Antonio should be happy to be on a bench. What happened to them mans, yeah? All right. 100 million for bold money. Okay. All right. TikTok. Why leave West Ham bench to go on another bench? No. But if I'm leaving West Ham, I could go upon City bench. I could go upon Arsenal bench, and I'm okay with it. But if he goes to any other team lower tier, I think if he goes to Brentford, he would have actually started. JD call up the names. No, Christian, you sell me out. But anyways, we have Ketterak on the line. I want to hear what he has to say, and then we take out 2 minutes out of him calling, so we don't want him to take 50 more minutes and say he's taking 5 minutes. All right. So good day, Mr. Ketterak. How are you doing?
Good evening, JD.
And we have a
Not doing
jam-packed show today. Spicy. The man them fight me on a video. I put out the same video with the contract with Ximines and what is going on. It's like me talking the truth turn out to be I am a bad person.
We're not even going back to that,
No,
JD.
but no. I'm trying to set a stage to something. And then the man move on from Ximines video, which him say me a fight against Ximines, and then go over to Antonio and say Antonio should have glad saying up on the bench. So that's the conversation we reach now. You believe so Antonio deserve to be on the bench?
Man bright and filthy
No,
and
he
out of
should be happy.
order, rank and stink like. What happened to some man? Yeah, and Michail Antonio is a Jamaican, he's our hero. And Let me tell you something. I'm some man. JD, you see, you put me come put on football, you put me on
No, I'm just
different
asking.
mood,
No,
brother.
no, no. You need to talk
No,
after.
listen, look here.
Mm-hmm.
I said in the chat, and I said it to you earlier, and I think you and I had I think on a comment and you reply back and everything respectful. Michail Antonio is a London boy, you see? And I don't see him moving out of London, going up to the
We
Midlands
have not
to
said one second.
to
TikTok.
Wolves. No, hold on,
No, one second,
hold
Chatter.
on. No,
No,
God,
one
no,
second.
God, man.
TikTok. I have not said Antonio is better than their centre forwards. I just said what he offers is a little bit different. So he could have started in a different system for them as well. That's all I'm saying. All right. Christian said these Antonio fans are delusional. All right, Christian. Thank you very much. All right. I continue. So
So
Christian,
yeah,
but you
so
can't.
hopefully I can get to make the point. So if you look around London, Crystal Palace has a number 9 in Benteke, who they bought from Aston Villa, who did not produce the goods apart from the first season that he came. I don't think Benteke went into double digits for any season he was there. He has moved on. I'm not even sure where he's moved on to.
Benteke should be playing in
Um,
MLS at this
But
point.
Benteke is playing with Ravel at DC.
Yes, I saw him score a goal past Damian Lowe the other day, but I never talked about it
well,
because the Damian Lowe church will get upset, so I leave it alone.
I don't watch MLS, as I've told persons many times, so I can't really comment on that. But Jordan Ayew, who went with Ghana to the World Cup, is their number 9,
Mm-hmm.
and Ayew has scored 5 goals in 3 years, and he's still the star
5 goals
9
in three
at Crystal
years. All right,
Palace.
so
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 I think Crystal Palace need
Crystal
Michail
Palace,
Antonio like a spliff need grabber. You
Crystal
understand?
Palace.
Because Crystal Palace would be my obvious destination for him. They like the big bruising centre forward. Um, and they're not getting production from their number 9. Brentford is interesting because Ivan Toney may be suspended for his alleged
Yes,
betting
but we don't know. We don't know much games
things.
he's gonna get. You think he's gonna get a long ban?
No, I don't know. Nobody can say that, but he's going to be banned. that much I do know, but we don't know for how long. So I think Brentford might want to hedge their bet. If I was a Thomas Frank, in terms of bringing a loan player until the end of the season to cover for any number of games, because the truth of the matter is that Brentford, if they lose 2-3 games on the trot, could find themselves in a relegation dogfight, and you don't want to end up there. So that's another destination, still in London, and then you have Fulham, which might be the least likely of them. But when Mitrovic is not available, Fulham do look a shadow of themselves, so they could be looking for a backup player, a backup striker for Mitrovic. But the least likely of them. But all of those are small London clubs where a loan budget would fit in to their plans. Um, that's where I see it moving. Crystal Palace, even Crystal Palace. I think Wolverhampton is a bit off the radar.
Why?
But no, as I said, you don't really find to move out of London because London has so many clubs, including so many Premier League clubs. You really don't find top London players moving out of London. That's, for example, in my view, one of the reasons why Harry Kane didn't move to Manchester City at the first, like force his hand to move to Manchester City, and still held on to the Spurs dream. Um, it's a bit of a snobbery thing where city man and they don't want to move go a country. I mean,
Christian, Oh, look at Cataract. Christian, you look like you come here to give a bag of trouble. When I asked you yesterday, what you know about the players, then you couldn't name an next player. And I think you missed a thing called context. All right, we speak on context here. The reason why we're talking about Jamaican players is because we are running a Jamaican channel. So I heard you in the chat talking about who don't know about football. Christian, I don't think you know 5% of football that I know. Not even 5%. So it basically does come on, you just stick to the drama channel then. Alright? Yeah, I think that makes sense. Stay up a little bit later. Alright? Yeah. Because you ain't talking football. You look like you don't want to go into football. You want to talk drama. Alright? Yes, Katra, continue.
Yeah, we got disconnected. So I'm saying that it's a bit. Sorry, I hear a lot of echo. Just a
Because you
mix up.
jump off of the line. Why you don't join the Discord then? Because Discord you can talk and
I don't. On the thing with the phone. Because I'm on my phone. Because I'm out and about just string
Okay,
up the
well
song
let's
and thing.
finish
I
your
just
statement then.
I just going to be quick. So I wanted to get the view of the people. Those are realistic clubs. And I said London has a high concentration of clubs. So players in London don't generally, I mean, there are always exceptions and stuff to the rule, tend to move out of London. But very good players tend to stay in London, the city of London that has its attractions. That, you know, will keep a player there. But I think any team from 10 Leeds, my team could do with a striker that could score 10 goals or even 5 goals in half a season. If you want to put it that way. But outside of the league, though, Michail Antonio's returns in terms of goal contributions is pretty high in the cups and in Europe. So is just really in the league, but he hasn't been starting. So I think persons, if you spoke about context earlier, JD, I don't think that people are looking at the context that he's no longer the starting player. So he has less minutes,
and
they're produce the same.
And they are looking to have El Nasiri comes in. They were looking to have El Nasiri comes in, and if he comes in, he's going to be coming. He's going to be the first choice forward, and then Skamaka will be the second, or they will be joint second. So that's why we are having this conversation. They are not looking at the context. You understand me? So because West Ham going out to try to look for him. So it's posing a little bit more problem, and the West Ham don't want to let him go until they are sure they're going to get the next one,
No, but also the thing in the context of Jamaica, it's good for us because that means he has some more years or matches left in his legs. Because these same people, some of the same people were the same ones saying that him looked tired last season when West Ham were running him into the ground as the only striker. They were literally whipping his back.
That's true.
Send a jet and fly him right back, come play right now. So now, as a squad player, you're still training, which means you're still at game day readiness, but you have a bit more left in the legs. And also the risk of injury is less. Because the way that he was going, if he tried to go that same way this season and even next season, we might have a striker that, right. So it's good for Jamaica. Maybe not good for the player. I mean, he still collects his check, but maybe not good for him. But he has to decide. I think Michail Antonio has been a professional for long enough to be given the respect to decide what he wants to do next in his career. And I don't think that is some man that say, boy, a man move from bench, a man a bench. Brother, we have players who can't even make a bench and man hype them up. Then can't come nowhere near the match day. Not even in our grounds, then can't come. Yet we have a player who, because of his age and stage in terms of his professional career, has moved on. Look at Gareth Bale. He has retired from football at pretty much the same age as Michail Antonio.
Yes, 33, yeah.
Right? A year to go. No mass, no more. Golf, golf, golf. So understand that Michail is still playing with a love for the game. It is tremendous love for Jamaica. Why he's showing up for us. He showed up for the
I'm gonna read the super chat
Argentina
right
game.
after. You continue,
Yeah,
continue,
man.
Catherine.
You can go ahead. I said he showed up for the Argentina game. And I think he needs to do respect. And he will be a part of the mature as our striking pool gets depth. And we see some of our strikers develop. Um, Shamar in Russia, well, I don't get to see the Russian league, but we can see the scores and stuff like that. The other options, Andre Gray, still scoring goals in Greece, but they're at the tail end of their careers, so they can pick and choose what they want to do. And I don't think Antonio going to know MLS, and I don't think him
No,
going to
no,
know country.
nobody
I,
ever
I
consider in
believe
a MLS. I think if he wants to even
right,
stay at West Ham, they would let him stay. Remember,
of
he
course.
created history now. But let me go and read the super chat, my big boss. 1 second, hold it.
Yeah, man, go ahead.
Be- Because Balakara beat in the chat, JD, you have more ball knowledge than me. Please break down Antonio's stats for me year by year. It does not necessarily need that. I don't need to even look at anything to break down what Antonio did in football, brother, because everything has context towards it. All right, the man started as a right back, go out as a winger, and then come in as a striker. So he
Agree,
did what the team needs at the time, showcasing that he's an industrial player. That's always a player that's helpful to the team, and that's why he's still there to this point. Because when Skamaka comes in trying to play a big player, but more nippy big player, he comes in as a strong player and offer something different because he's versatile between the three passing lanes in the attacking third. All right, sir. So it's not about proving that way. And if people don't look at football
no.
that way, no coach looks at football that way. That's the next thing as well, Christian. All right, people look at it the way I'm looking at it. All right, so they are not
So, but
running
even
him.
his
That's why
stats,
they didn't
JD.
sell him. That's why they didn't sell him. That's why they didn't sell him, and they rejected the deals coming from Wolves because literally, they either wanted someone to go in place because they don't believe Skamaka can do it all. Because when he comes on in the first half of the transition between him and Skamaka, he looks better than Skamaka when he comes on for 15, 25 minutes. So maybe he was tired for the Jamaican journey, and also the back-to-back games that he had to play through right through the season. You understand me? Yes. What you're saying, Cataract, that's what you're saying.
No, I'm agree with you, JD, and I'm thinking that yes, people can pull up stats, but when you pull up the stats, also open Google and look at injuries, because this is pretty much last season was pretty much the first injury-free season that Antonio had. He's generally has struggles with hamstring injuries that keeps him out for a period of time. Um, so if you're gonna run and look, Michail Antonio gives you pretty much a gives you pretty much a with a full season a double-digit striker, a double-digit striker, and so therefore I don't know what stats a man going to prove to do what to tell you that Michail Antonio no good.
All right. Well, one second. Christian, you said project 4 years. Yes, that is true. But the coach said today he's in no rush to make any changes. No scramble to put new players in. So he's not going to come and put a bulk of new players. He's going to identify the positions that need. So a right back need, the CDM need, centre back might need, maybe a winger need. I don't think we need strikers immediately. So Christian, he's not jumping to what you are saying at the start. He's trying to give back people opportunity and feel them out. So they have to do themselves the service of getting themselves out of the team. So once he uses them and they don't perform, then he can move away from that. But at this point, Christian, he's not jumping to make that move as what you think. If you think it's a bad way he's doing it, no. I think Jamaica is a strange type of category. Jamaica Jamaica people is different from the rest of the world. Good different as well. So what we have struggled with from 1998 is We have local players that has more pulling, like more power in the team naturally from 1998, whether we don't want to admit it or not. So that determines if the federation will fight with the coach, for instance. So when those personnels comes in, they have to make sure they set a balanced table and give everyone an opportunity. I know that you're saying that 4 years, a project of 4 year, but it's a project of you can integrate socially. All right, or you can integrate socially as well, and you can communicate, because you don't want to come in and tell a man, sorry to use Damian Lower, Andre Blake. Oh, Damian Lower, Andre Blake, you're not playing. You know. We have a next we have a next centre back where we're gonna put in a place. People will start to say that the first thing people will say, it's the JPL, is the JFF telling him to do that, telling him to do that. You understand me? So you cannot just jump in and just make move, clear out everything one time, because you had a riff, and that riff is coming from way before you. Maybe around '96, that riff is coming from between the English and the local players. Them, it was there, and it always was a problem. And you have to be careful how you deal with this. So he has to deal with the social side, the communication side. So I think starting from a playing field, coming in is the best way to do it. So you make sure you look at the field, who is good attitude, help this thing. If you don't good enough with the attitude or you're playing, you just move on, the next person comes in. All right, but that's what he's going with now, Christian. If you like it or not, let me know. I don't know what Jason have to say on that, because Tarick is on the phone and he wants to stay on the phone, and can't get into the Discord, and then other people on the call, and then
No, but
he doesn't
no,
listen.
no,
He doesn't
hold on.
work with
No, no, no.
the thing, He not
I,
respect the thing.
hold on,
Him a
okay, this
panelist, and
bad
him
come
want
again.
it on cell phone, Yes. So let me know if
If
you
I,
guys are alright with what Mr. Hallgrimsson said. Um, what you said, Jason? What you said about that before we get into this?
Yeah. I think as I said earlier in the chat, the measured approach is the right approach.
Mm-hmm.
You can't come in and just change everything one time. I like the fact that he said that while he's on the island, he's going to make sure to immerse himself into the football and
Yes.
try to
So
see if
JPL, everything I get
there is
in.
anything he can see locally, and try to figure out what the level is there. And I think that is important. And so moving forward with the team, I am sure he knows that he needs to find the balance of players that can get him the results we need, and the players that can, stay for the long run for the next 4 to 5 years to get us through to the World Cup. So it's interesting to see how he strikes that balance. But I think if we cannot be foolish and just say that every player over the age of whatever is no longer able to play, we're going to need these players to get results.
Yeah. We can't just throw off everyone, and you have to understand you don't want to. I've told you that Jamaica system is completely different. Ghana had these same problems when they brought in Salisu and those guys. I heard people having problem. Even when you know the quality of the players, them, I heard people having problem. Even when you know the quality of the players, them, I heard people having problems just the same. All right.
Well,
Even when you
JD,
know the
you
quality
don't
of the
have to
players,
go.
them.
You don't have to go as far as Salisu. I mean, we saw the clips from the documentary, and we know that players coming in cause problems in our own camp.
Yes,
So,
I know, but I'm
the
trying to no,
coach will have to take
no.
control of
But
those things.
Jason, I'm trying to compare Jamaica's problem to only Ghana, because Ghana alone, it seems like them have the direct problem with accepting the overseas guys and coming in. You understand me? Yes. So
Got you.
and ironic, they are the ones that we are closely tied to, Ghana. And we are having the same problem as them. All right. Yes. So guys, make sure to smash that button. Get us to 200 likes, please. Antonio over Boza, Whisper, slash Gray, over Gray any day of the week. I don't know what you're talking about. Why you put even Whisper in that conversation? I don't know. You just
Jerry,
like waste people time, man. Just stop it, man. Then we
Jerry,
talk reality,
I
man.
didn't want us to get diverted. I would love you to the Hallgrimsson. I think for the little that I heard, I didn't hear the entire interview. It sounds very sober. very sensible approach. You don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. It sounds like a professional coach. And as I said before, you never hear me beat up the coach unless we hear make some like real grimy thing. But he has to be given the latitude and the time to show us what he's all about. And he has the Nation League, he has the Gold Cup to get all of those things done. Right? So I mean the man just reached Jamaica and people want to start dissect.
Yeah, man. Let we support.
No.
We see TikTok be
Yeah,
harsh, but the man. Let we support the man. We support the man. And the man. They set everything. They are being informative with us. So at least give them a chance. Give them a chance to prove their point. So once he comes in and he starts to get the team playing well, and even if results not going their way, they are playing well in the mold of how he wants to go. So let we deal with it the real football way. All right, JD is not a lot of Jamaicans in the same little people with a whole heap of different accounts. Okay? Okay, fair enough. Okay, TikTok says what happened with the love. Yeah, my Brinjan said what happened with the love sign. African says no Ghana slander. No. I'm not slandering Ghana. I'm just saying Ghana had the same issues that I was actually reading. But it's only Ghana and Jamaica seems to have a problem with overseas people coming to play for the country. You understand me? Those are the only two first one I saw had the issues. And that's something that we need to correct in 2026 because we saw Morocco just did it and it's just solely based off we have to get along and we have to just do the right things. That's all. You can finish. You're finishing a point, Jason, right? We have 30 more minutes to go. 2.5 hours of finishing here and we're out of the place. Yes, but we wanted to look at the continue.
No, I was just making the point that we need to figure out a way to be more inclusive, and stop making it so hard for these new players to assimilate amongst the team. Because I think if we can all get on the same page, I think the it's endless what we can achieve. But I feel like that is the main ingredient that is missing.
All right. So at this point, we're on the conversation of Michail Antonio. So we have a player here. Why not England? England canceling him for sure. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about there. We have Shamar Nicholson, 25-year-old at this point. As you can see, plays at Bird Kingston, 1 meter 92. There, good height. He's at Spartak Moscow. He did better coming back from the second phase of his slight injury that he had before he came to Jamaica. He came back in. Gladly, an injury took place with his team, and he slotted in right after, and he got a few goals and looked better. So why are we not looking to Shamar to say that Shamar could change things? Because Shamar got a call to say that Galatasaray is interested in him. Are you just think that Shamar don't possess the tool that you're looking for to take Jamaica forward? What say you guys in the comment section? And let me start with Cataract. What say you, Cataract?
Shamar is on a phase of his development. He has been stepping up in level of club and level of responsibility. And regardless of my views of Bosa, he is a part of the striking pool for the Jamaica national team. So he's enjoying my support. I look forward to him to becoming a better, more clinical striker. Converting more of his chances that he gets and being less wasteful. But if things go as they do, competition for places are going to be stiff. And I think for now, Shamar would be in a striking pool of 4 strikers along with Michail Antonio, Andre Gray, and Jamal Lowe as the top 4 strikers that we have. I don't know if you see it differently.
Who you said? Who you said?
Antonio, Boza,
Yeah,
Andre Gray,
yeah.
and Jamal Lowe are the four strikers that we have now in
So
the national team.
all right, guys, in the chat, please post your top strikers that you have for Jamaica right now. What you think we can choose from, like what you know played for Jamaica. So let me stick with what played for Jamaica. Your list is okay. Kevin Roof, you wouldn't put him amongst that anymore.
No, pardon me?
You wouldn't put
Look, Kevin
Kevin
Roof
Roof.
has been injured.
Okay.
He's been injured for an extensive period of time. So I don't know. I haven't seen him play for Rangers. I check up, every now and then. I haven't seen him play for the Rangers reserves. So I really don't. I really don't know what's happening with Kevin Roof. Former Leeds man, he had time in Belgium, so you are aware of his skill set, but he hasn't been really available for the team for 2022. He's been injured. So look forward when he comes back. But I think when he comes back, he would be there with, he's an option to
Okay.
force himself. He's a pretty accomplished striker, So, but another different type of striker.
But what
He's
you
not big, he's not big, tall, and fast. That's not him. He's a more of a goal poacher, goal rat sort of striker who we had playing totally out of position as sort of an attacking midfielder at one point in time. If you remember when he first came, Tapper had him playing almost as an attacking midfielder, and he's a number 9.
Okay. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. I'm going to take 1 second. Africans, yes, I saw that you're in the Discord. No problem. We will wait. Let me see. Okay. Andrew, yes, I just heard what you're saying. You said people comparing Whisper to other people. Okay, but this is not a conversation. I don't even want to mention those conversations because I think it's nonsensical. When we're talking real football, it makes no logical sense, and I don't want to entertain it. You understand me? When we're talking about a different context, we try to do it because sometimes we just say the names and we ourselves forced people into positions that they should not. The conversation should not be talked about and then cause unnecessary problems. So that's why I would just leave it alone for now. Yes. And when the player get
We're talking about the national team
yes,
and national team strikers.
yes.
And
So
that player is not a national team striker
yes,
and
that's how
needs
we
to play
cleared it.
big man football.
That's how we cleared it. I don't want to start the conversation. I don't like talk about it. I'm kind of really not wanting to talk about it at all. We have enough conversation here. That's fill out our page. When we have different situation, we will talk about it. You get me? But today is not the day because I don't want to talk about some of these people, man. I don't want to talk about it. Whisper is a cool youth, respect Richie, but I don't want to go down that road right now. We have to talk about Hallgrimsson and Jamaica team. That makes perfect sense. So Andrew, don't put them in
But,
the text because we don't want to talk about that. We're not interested in that. When they
but,
get cute, they want club, we will talk about him. The other people in their club,
but
we're talking about their situation and we're talking about the coach situation. The title is big and clear. Michail Antonio and Bobby Reid on the screen and Hallgrimsson. 3 of them are do something. So we want to talk about them people that do
so,
something. Very simple.
so JD, I think the coach has done everything that we have been asking of a national coach to do. He has been to the World Cup. He has been to England.
Mm-hmm.
I know he has been on the ground in England. He has had ongoing conversations with Premier League players. And I look to see whether those come to fruition. Certain things man can't too talk. I want good for eat, not good for talk. But I expect
but
that by Nations League, I expect by
we
Nations
have 3
League.
more people on the line. So just finish up a point
Oh,
there
sure.
and we can bring him in.
No. Yeah, man. No, man. I'm saying that by Nations League, I think we would get a sense of this coach and we would see the work that he has put in terms of the groundwork. If we were to be honest, even before we spoke about the youth players coming in, we remember that we have the obvious players that the coach would be looking at because he would be looking at not throwing out the baby with the bathwater, would be the likes of a Tafarai Balgrave and Daniel Green, who are over there in Vietnam,
Yes.
right? Because if he's looking at the last, set of official matches, those would be the strikers that he sees that he would want to give them an opportunity to say something for themselves. Then he saw some new strikers in Cameroon. I think there was the youth from the USL or MLS, one of the two, who scored. So we have a lot of work to do, and my understanding is, and I mean, I've heard it from Mr. Speed. They're looking at projection and using. It's
Yes,
pretty standard.
I think the coach is being exactly as what Mr. Speed said. They're looking for high target personnels. They're going to try and come and improve
Right.
Jamaica's football. That's it. So so people are going to be upset, but they're trying to do everything so far. What we have covered today, I want to bring in the persons inside because they might have something
Yeah,
to
but
say.
bring them in.
Benbow, this is information came out. Benbow from Waterhouse, he has signed. He has signed for a club. We will give all information tomorrow. When we get everything. All right, so that's a good move and showcase that people leaving the JPL continuous. All right, so that is something that we're learning. All right, yes. So Benbow on the move now. So good things, all sorts of good things for Jamaica, and people keep on getting in that little box to people for the coach to look at them. So they changed the rule to say that people need to go other places to make the national team. You clearly see that thing stepping up because that's called an ambitious move. So people have to have ambition in order to fall in that category, and that's what I like. All right, we have Africans. We have Christian. Christian claimed to say that he has a point to explain, so we want him to go and say his piece. You join me on a night show now, Mr. Christian. It's almost 1 o'clock my time, sir. So you realize when I stay up late now, you realize that I'm not a tiny channel now. You realize?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man, JD. Respect. I'm calling from Denmark.
Oh, you're
I
calling from
heard
Denmark.
echo mode.
Denmark. Okay. So,
Denmark.
why you fight against the boss, Michail Antonio, so? I tell you,
All
so
right.
we
Yeah,
have
man.
agenda.
I beg you, JD. I know it's your show, but I'm going to ask a couple questions, all right? All right. So, what I want to ask first, the chat on you, is with this Reggae Boyz team, are we looking to create a philosophy and create a long-term plan, or are we looking for short-term success?
We're looking for
What you want?
everything at once, and it's very easy to achieve that, and that's why it's called a pool. A pool
Yeah.
has a trajectory to it. You have older, middle tier, and lower class in it. He started to say that the first 2 weeks that he's gonna do, he's gonna focus on Jamaica and inside Jamaica. So that simply means that at the bottom of the pool, where people are gonna try come out of, the younger kids them are gonna try come out of. Then you have the little round the other players them like the Maggie, the Cephas them, the Paris them, they're waiting in the wings because they are 22, 23. All right. So even though you're gonna be using older players, Michail Antonio, Ethan Pino, Damian Lowe, Blake, Amari Bell, Ravel Morrison, Jamal Lowe, all of those older players. You still have the Shamar Nicholson, you still have the Bailey, you still have the Lambakisi, you still have the Latibodir coming in. And then now you have the second line to come from on the bench, which is quality. So really and truly, what you don't know, because in life, you have to start from, you have to compare yourself from where you were before. Where we were before,
Right.
we had Alvos Powell, O'Neill Fisher, and those guys, and Aka and Speedy in the middle. That's what we had before. Now we have Premier League people coming off the bench to go to seemingly slot themselves in the team. So when you're saying, "Oh, get rid of one man," no, it's a
All
continuous
right.
thing.
All right. Okay. First off, I think it sounds like we actually probably agree more than maybe just in the chat. Cause on my phone, I can't type out
Yes,
everything. So
that's so. Yes, that's how it is.
yeah. So what I'm basically saying is I agree. I think it was. I don't know if it was who in the chat said it, but the measured approach. So basically, what you're saying is you can use a man like Antonio for the next couple years,
Yeah,
but I guess and you can use him to get whatever results you need. But I guess what I'm saying is in the long term, he can't be a long term plan because I would much rather, especially like how the World Cup is 48 or might be 48 teams. I'm not sure if that's confirmed
Yes,
yet.
it's confirmed. It's confirmed.
If
48 teams, yes.
Okay, great. So realistically, short term goal, we all know here that pretty much Jamaica. If we make the World Cup, that's a win. I would rather make, and I think making the World Cup with 48 teams shouldn't be that hard. If we can't make it, that's a problem to me. But I would rather we make the World Cup with maybe a team of up and coming players. So for 8 years down the line, in the 4 years we set a culture, and for 8 years down the line, we actually can be like, yo, we can do something. And to me, that requires a bit more long term thinking because if you really try to hit your wagon to a 36-year-old striker in that World Cup, either way, not really matter because we're not getting far if Michail Antonio is our best option at that time. So that's kind of all I'm saying, right? I get what you're saying about the pools, but it just needs to be a little bit more long-term thinking. And I know I mentioned Arsenal last time again, but I'm not trying to say we are them or we have that kind of quality. But look what Arteta did with Lacazette, Aubameyang. He let go of them as soon as he had to.
Yeah, but he had problems.
And
he had problems with
invest in the youth as soon as he could.
Yeah, but he had problems.
And look at what we've
No,
seen
but
in
you're
2 years.
that's what you're saying things, but you're not putting the context to it. He had problems with Lacazette to do the specific task that he wants. So what happened if Michail Antonio doing the task that he wants? Oh, that work out. You're gonna just throw him out because he's older? Because remember, it's a continuous
But
thing, we have explained to you that
I guess maybe my issue is that JD, a 36-year-old Michail Antonio can't be doing it. If that's how Grimson's,
he's not 36
I
now.
mean,
He's not 36
no,
now.
he will be 36. He will be
but
36 or 35.
that's the end of the cycle. Remember, we just talked about it's a continuation. So because he's going to be 36 at the end of the cycle, what happened to the whole 3 years?
I mean, I give him a couple years, but he should be phased out eventually by 24, in my opinion. And maybe we're saying the same thing in that way, but
I think you're
I just can't imagine World Cup come and be starting at 36
Big Boss, I think you're extremely hard.
And he's not Giroud.
Messi just won the Premier League. No, Michail Antonio is way more mobile than Giroud and will be way more mobile than Giroud at 36. Way more. So hold on there. You ever saw Giroud play? You're going to tell me that Giroud is more mobile than Michail Antonio?
No. I'm saying Giroud is a far higher quality player than Michail Antonio. I think we can all agree. No, I'm not able to look at the chat, but
you're talking different thing. No, you're talking different thing. I've said mobile.
Yeah.
I've not said who are the better player. I've said mobile. So you're twisting my words. I've not said nothing what you have said. All I'm saying is why can't just be depending on what the player doing. Why it have to be? You have to move on from the player there. But let me explain something to you then. Ethan Pinnock might be 33 by then, so we're gonna move away from Ethan Pinnock.
No, it's really that kind of. I think again that would be based on his form. I'm making a prediction that a 36-year-old unlikely to be at the where we'd want to invest. But I mean, it's okay now. I'm not saying you're wrong or anything. It's just my view. And maybe
I respect it.
Maybe the chat will disagree.
No. People listen. People think logical. So people listening. We have Cataract here and we have Africans here. Africans, are you still here? What you have to say with what the statement Christian makes? Because we know that we have Hutchison that went to World Cup. He's 6,895-year-old. We have Stevie Vittoria, 15,000 years old. But for some reason, and they were some of their best players to qualify. Then you go on Costa Rica, you have Celso Borges, old, you have goalkeeper, old, you have the attacking midfielder, old. So and they were the persons that they were relying on to transition Aguilera and Bennett and those guys. So I don't know what to say to you, dear. I understand what you're trying to say.
Really?
Yeah, 1 second.
Really?
Yeah, 1 second, big
Oh,
boss. I wanted Africans to come in.
oh,
Africans waiting a while.
oh, sure, sure, okay. No problem, no problem.
Yeah, Africans, what say you on this conversation? Because this is Christian brought up his point, so we want to make sure we can, at
Hmm.
least me, him, you, and the chat can really leave today and don't have to fight with Christian tomorrow on the same point. So what say you? Because we have just seen a World Cup with so much people there, and I thought that they are transitioner, so they are transitioning people to the next level.
No, I understand the point Christian is making, and he's right to a degree, but I also see what your point is. I think the factor that comes into it, for me, it is if a player is playing at the top level, their age doesn't qualify how much longer they play. If Michail Antonio is playing at is your best striker at 36, and no one has been able to unseat him, then Michail Antonio is your best striker in 4 years. There's no other conversation around that. Now, if it does your coach slash your program give other players the opportunity to unseat him, that's another conversation, right? If it's just Antonio's the 9 and we're not having a conversation, I have an issue with that. But if Antonio's the best player, if someone else is the best player, as long as they are functioning at the best degree, I don't think there's an issue with having a player, whatever age they are. If they're 19, if they're 39, if they are the best player at that point, at that position, it shouldn't matter. Should you be having young players who can be moving them off? Yes. If at that point Antonio is still the best 9, that says more about the 22s, the 19-year-olds, those mid-tier players who are trying to take his position. Development has to happen. It can't just be given to you. You have to earn it. Now, how that works? Oh, I'm willing to have that conversation because every coach is different. Every coach has their favorites and whatnot. But I think as long as your best players are playing at the top form, this is why the comment I made earlier, which is you need young. Jamaica has a decent group of strikers, but they need some young strikers who are performing at the highest level, not just young strikers. Not just young strikers in high levels. They have to be performing there in order to be able to push in and say, hey, okay, now let's give them a run here against whichever team to see if they can now perform here. I see both sides to it. I think there's value in both, but you need to have players who are playing better to unseed versus just given the opportunity.
All right, fair enough, fair enough. Anyway, Cataract, were you saying something?
Yeah, I just wanted to say that vocabulary is a hell of a thing. When I listened to the World Cup, I did not hear the word old being used to describe players. I heard the word experienced and mature. Old give the impression that the man a walker with a walking stick on a wheelchair.
Mm-hmm.
Good evening, Woodwood. Right? And in the World Cup, I think at least half the teams had players who were starting, who would be in the age group where Michail Antonio is. Now, no one knows where the player will be in 3 years' time. But one should also realize that the qualifiers start next year. So the man is not going to be 36 when the qualifiers start. He's going to be
Thank you very
33
much.
going after, right?
Thank
If
you very
he's the
much.
person bagging in the goals and he's the striker on form, then what do we do? Look, if we look at the mistake that we made when Tapa came in as coach for the second time around and ran away, and I don't want to say he ran them away, but we just noticed that some players like Joby McAnuff, Garrett McCleary were no longer a part of the setup. Yet, Garrett McCleary, for example, is still playing football at a professional level long after the coach is still the coach. So you can take age as a number, but I think people want to be a bit more scientific than saying it's like saying because you're born here, so you're in the team. Right? These are just abstract things. I believe that the striker who is on point will earn their place. And I don't think I believe that the coach, having had the experience with Iceland, having, I mean, it's a different set of experiences because, you wouldn't have had to put up with some of this xenophobia um, and stuff, but you still have that whole thing about um, players who people see locally and you feel close to them and feel like, say, yeah, that man, they're the thing. But when you look in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't add up. So I believe that over the qualifiers, over the Nations League, the coach will get to look at his striking options, look at his defensive options, look at his midfield options, which we don't have many. I believe, for me, we have gotten some of them because I looked at the fact that in the Argentine game, we had a CDM in Kevin Lambert who, especially CDM, who was there, who plays in the States and everything, and yet the coach didn't choose to bring him on and sort of cauterize the game. So the coach knows I believe the coach must be given time to look for what he's looking for. If the coach wants to carry a 36-year-old striker in three years' time, so be it. We still support the thing. But I don't. A long-term plan doesn't mean that we are playing kiddies football, right? It means that you have to have a transition. You have to be able to skillfully transition players out, bring players in, blood them as it's called, right? Give them the big game, big match experience, and all across sports. Look at George Foreman. George Foreman's fighting till he's nearly 50 years old. Tom Brady is 45 at quarterback, unheard of. And I was looking at the transfer news. I don't know if you saw it, the rumors.
I can just
This is my
interject
last
quickly.
point. And then
You're fully correct. You're fully correct, but like,
Hold on, let
but like,
Christian comes back because remember it's his point we're arguing. But before you go, Christian,
yeah, just
before you continue,
yeah.
Christian, guys, just take a little time of and hit the like button. Now, let me pass the 200 likes that we said we want. Now, guys, we have the people here. You guys have passed through. We're having the conversation. If you don't hit the like button, the people don't come here. So if you like how we break down things, just support the stream and let we finish off. Thanks to all the people that donated before, but definitely hit the like button, just close it and just hit the like button and we continue the conversation. Continue, Mr. Christian.
For sure. So a couple points. I agree. I want to make it clear. I agree that he's our best option right now. But Tatar, you mentioned a transition plan, right? And at the end of the day, at least in my opinion, if you want to solve hard problems, you have to make hard decisions. And in order, in my opinion, to basically reshape the culture of the team, you have to make a decision to kind of what Africans were saying is maybe promote youth a little bit more than you would do so on average, right? And it's funny I mentioned Arteta is actually injuries, if I remember correctly, would make him start for Smith Rowe and certain other things. So it wasn't even that he had the plan, but he got to a situation where he had to promote youth and they stepped up more than people would have expected. So, and the other thing is as well, I know I'm not a crystal ball, but based on how Michail Antonio is playing this year, when people call up people like Tom Brady or Messi or Ronaldo, the truth is that this guy is not anywhere near that. And I don't want to be disrespectful, but in 3 years, this guy is probably, I mean, by all the best guesses, not going to be where we'd like to be hitching our wagon. And he's nowhere near Giroud. I can't even believe JD was comparing him to Giroud at all. Giroud isn't Giroud Francis top scorer of all time?
That is a problem, I think when you're listening to people, you build up your belief in it already because I've not compared him to Giroud. You brought up Giroud, and I said Antonio will be more mobile than Giroud in 3 years.
No, what I'm saying is.
Yeah, but nobody compares.
Realistically, a 36-year-old Antonio is likely to not be of much high quality. And that's maybe, as everybody said, if he proves me wrong, that's fair. But realistically,
my brother,
if you're making a plan, it can't center on that. And I'll stop to let everyone respond.
But you're not reasoning with me because you just told you made a statement about me which I never made. You are the one that took that in because I've never compared Giroud with Antonio. I've literally said Giroud would be more mobile. You brought up the player and I said he will be more mobile. You don't know systems is a thing. What if the system that Hallgrímsson playing, he just want a physical personnel to draw his wingers them up? Because you saw strikers, strikers does not always have to be the goal scorer. Do you know that strikers can be the progressor of the ball? Strikers can be the
True.
older
True.
player of the ball. So what even same Giroud in 2018 World Cup, he was the older player of the ball to make people roll off him. And that's where Mbappe and those guys learned that system until even now Mbappe literally saying that he wants a hold up striker in PSG to make his job easier. You understand me? So I think sometimes you're saying things, but you're not looking at it. You get me? I saw you matched out for Michail Antonio. I have no problem. You're making sure. Oh, you cannot tell me who you have rising at this rank to offset Michail Antonio even at 35. Even at 36, you cannot tell me no. So that is my problem.
Yeah.
So who we're going to
I'm just
use?
saying the plan should better identify that person
Yeah, so
before the
what if
time
we
comes.
don't have that
Like if
person?
I'm the coach, I'm
So what if
designing my plan to find who that
you
person
you
is.
you, you call Michael Antonio, you call Ivan Tony. We had you heard
You,
what no, I'm just asking a question. You heard what Ivan Tony said before? Cause we
well,
did
I'm just saying no. If he's in gambling problems, the England team worse not may pick him. So maybe it's a good time to try get him when he's vulnerable. Maybe that's a stupid way of thinking about it, but there's no chance that big England way. I don't think we'll pick him. It just the way English people are this season.
Yeah, but I understand. But I think when I thought when we start this conversation, you're gonna leave here today. First, you said I'm comparing Messi with Antonio. We are delusional, and then we are comparing Giroud to Antonio, and we have not done none of those things that you said. So I don't know what kind of concept you have of we, and we're not saying what you are thinking that we're saying,
Mm,
and we are very clear. So when you leave here today, make sure you're clear, big man, when you're coming back, because you're telling lies on
that's
us.
fair.
All right. I am going to call you out as a big man. You're telling lies on us. You brought up Giroud.
I'll let
Uh,
you. I'll let you and JD's your show. By the way, I respect your
no,
show, and I'll
it's not
definitely
about
enjoy it back.
it's not
The
about my
wife
show.
is asking to come to bed, but
Okay, big up your
you
wife.
know,
Big up your wife.
my point was my point was just like I feel like we're gonna
No,
have a lot of plans based on Antonio,
we're
and
not,
I'll be very
no,
careful
no,
with that.
we're not, you're not, I thought you just listen to two shows and then make your mind up. Please go back. I'm not asking you because I'm judging off how you're responding. So please just go back to
No
more
man, no
shows.
man.
Go,
Big up
I'm
JD, nothing
begging you,
like
go
that.
back to more shows and see what we're doing. We're not based in nothing of Antonio. We have Liam Bailey, we have Shamar Nicholson, we have all more people. Just go back to more shows and you see what. Remember, this is a reaction of the coach. So I think you're reading into what our personal opinions are too much because it's a reaction of the coach, like what the plans for the coach to come. So we have it in context. So when you come around when we are doing post matches and pre matches, and I tell you it's gonna be different though. All right.
Big up
JD,
JD.
Yeah, respect. Take care, man, and say hello to wife and Opa
Yeah.
as well. All right, so let me bring in another
What?
man.
I joke, I joke.
So JD, I wanted to ask a question.
Yes,
To
Keter,
the
and then
chat
you have
and
come
to
off of the
yourself.
phone, Keter, because you purposely don't come in at this again. All of the was the
No,
show, and I can't get the next call, brother.
no. If a call come in the line, don't tell me because brother,
No, but you could have just come in. You just could have
why
come
do
in at
you have to
the
war?
discard. No, but me not need for war, Keter. Me tell you about the discard, and you never come in. You tell me say
I,
you soon
I
gone,
am
and
telling you,
let me see check now.
by the
1 hour the call gone, 1 hour and 75 minutes.
what well, so that's why the people that catch you line. If it was 1 hour 75 minutes, it would be 2 hours and 15 minutes. So look here. If we always hear a beeps, if I don't hear changes, so we can't hear the beep. But if I'm a beep, I don't know because the voices need to be heard. I'm saying that Michail Antonio, in my view, would be in the top 10 English-born strikers in the Premier League. Right? That when you look across the Premier League, I don't think you'll find 10 better English-born strikers than Michail Antonio currently.
Yeah, but remember they just
And
wanted to pick in Michail Antonio for the World Cup and saying that they would have brought him behind Harry Kane because they were looking for strikers. And when they realized they play for Jamaica, he plays for Jamaica. I wonder if people don't listen to those programs. And not because we mention a player 4 or 5 times, that don't mean we are overpraise the player. It's just what we have. That's what Christian missed, It's just what we have. We have to talk about. We can't talk about Messi. Messi never planned to come to Jamaica come play, so we cannot talk. We have to talk about what we have. You know. Yeah, we'll soon come to the chat and read a few comments. Continue. Who inside the chat wanted to say something? Jason, and
yeah,
Jason wanted to say something. Jason, you wanted to say something?
yeah, no, I just was gonna say, on the Antonio thing. We know how old he's gonna be when the World Cup rolls around. But to be honest, we have some games in about what 2 months,
2 months,
one
yes.
almost 1 month, 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
and then after that we have the Gold Cup and possibly the Copa America. You know, he won't be 36 then. So right now we need to keep him in the team, and I think the key is how we build out the squads moving forward. I think if we're gonna have continuity and a succession plan, we need to maybe get a little more like a club team how we build the squad. You know, instead of taking Andre Gray and Michail Antonio, we take Andre Gray, Shamar, and then we maybe bring one of the younger guys to learn from the other two guys, right? And we should do that in each position if we can and when we can.
But be honest, we don't think we have this younger guys thing, we don't think that necessary, We have young guys, we already experienced, right through every position. You realize that. So this
No,
younger.
but when I say
Mhm.
younger, I don't mean like they have to be 18 or 19,
Okay, okay,
I'm
okay,
talking
okay,
instead of having Bobby Reid and Jamal Lowe in the squad, I would take a Bobby Reid and a Paris.
okay. Yeah, because
You
those
know,
Paris is unknown
instead
that
of
I'm talking
taking two
about.
at the same age, bring one that's more in the early 20s so that we can start to get them into the core.
Okay,
So,
okay.
so, so, JD, I have a final point, and I'm going to jump off. Look here. What I want to say is we have to get results. And if coach experiment and do those things and the results don't come, we say wanna go beat him,
Mm-hmm.
right? Paul Hall was bringing in a lot of young players, and people were saying he was 0-5, 5 loss, and we brought on pressure on Paul Hall, right? The truth of the matter is that a lot of young players have been given an opportunity of coming into the Reggae Boys squad, even in the World Cup. Jaden White was parachuted in as a goalkeeper, couldn't unseat Andre Blake. You had the Christopher Pearson, the Busy Atkinsons, Tarick Ximines. But you had some players who came in as young players, and clearly what the coach saw during the training didn't move him to even give them game time in the dead rubber games. If you remember, we already lose and can't go through in a Canada. We never brought on Christopher Pearson, and I think one game we even had an extra substitute left.
Yeah, yeah,
So you simply calling up a player because he's young, he may not impress the coach, and it's a waste of a space if you're not pushing for first team football,
Solid point.
right? So those players will come to the fore. As far as the coach is going, I will trust the process and see how he brings himself about and how he sets the guard of the team. Nothing he has said is untoward, right? You have to come into the country, you have to look at the local talent. They said they're going to build a local based squad. That is what we have been saying. I have been saying it on YouTube that Jamaica should have a squad based of players who are on the island who can be brought into camp at any time in case of disaster, in case of anything. And that team should be regularly brought up to the training Hallgrimsson training center for a day or two, or play a friendly match and those things. So these are not. I'm glad the JFF have come around to what people have been saying on YouTube, right? There is a time though when results matter and rankings matter, because you won't be able to have players transfer to places like England that require you to be at a particular level in terms of the ranking to move your players. So the man, and that call it him first day upon a job on local side. So I breeze him off, let him get down to business, and we see and take it from there. And I call on all the ultras, everybody to give him the support. Don't jump down on him throat and allow him to make any missteps he has to make, but I don't think he has much room for missteps. Um, to get it right. And at the end of the day, as I said, I think this year I didn't even remember that we could possibly be going to the Copa America if we were invited. There's a lot of games, competitive games to look at players, and not to mention friendly matches.
We need to do a video on that as well too. We're gonna have a video on that. It's gonna come in on the next channel next week. Next week we're gonna be starting. We're gonna start to put out a lot more content. Don't worry, you got yourself.
So. Respect to everybody, respect in the chat. You say you have a lot of people trying to call in, so I'll free up the line and allow the callers.
Yeah, we're coming to the end of the video now because we haven't passed the 200 likes, so it makes no sense with us a waste of time. You get me? We have already covered everything.
You think so? But I even telling people they have to do the right thing.
No. From I see, I don't reach that, and I'm here for a certain time. I am not really interested in doing anything more. We have already covered everything. It's
a big styling thing. It's a big styling thing, brother. It's a styling thing.
Yes,
a man for low the styling. You understand?
But that's all. We're not gonna force anyone to do anything. We kind of done. We touch all the topics. Shamar alone. Only Shamar alone we have to deal with, like. Yeah, but Cataract, you say done. You say done at 17
football, so I will kick back and listen.
Yeah.
I will kick back and listen to hear what's the update on Shamar. Yeah, man, everybody bless up themselves and, just go on for the track to see.
Just join the damn Discord the next time, sir. Simple.
Yeah. It's your end of a nice note. I'm going to tell you like how Queenie did tell Omari. Jesus loves you.
All right.
God go with you.
Yeah, man. All right. Take care. So, yeah, we'll do 12 more minutes to get the comments in. All right. So we have J Russ. Big up J Russ. Thanks for being here. Christian, you go to bed. You say you go to bed. All right. TikTok said, it is also a waste of space. Also, when you have a player like Bobby Reid who haven't played. Who always flopped and haven't played a good game for Jamaica starting for so long. Give a youngster a chance. Boy, I don't know. You say you know about football. Boy, I don't know. Then we have global football in the house. Massive respect. Our football global, I should say. Thanks very much. We have Sean, our brother in the building. Massive respect. Wunun says nothing wrong with a local squad. Sweden, Iceland, and a few played a few days ago with largely local based teams. And I saw some decent young players. Yes, man. What he's doing is good, man. Christian, 48 teams, 48 team World Cup. We need to take advantage. Well, Christian, in the future you will learn about the other teams because on this channel we also cover the other teams because we're not solely Jamaican channel. I am a Jamaican, but we cover the entire Concacaf. So we will bring the other teams to you and see how good they are, and we will truly know where Jamaica could go, and in the end you will know which player you should keep in the team or not. All right. Travis, big up yourself. How you doing, man? Imaxit, you need to check out the coach Hallgrimsson comment on players overseas. Travis, that's what our video is on. Travis, we had all the statements on the paper. We know about it. We just don't play it because YouTube changing up its rules now, and we don't want to get copy strike for things that we could have written on a paper and do our own job. We're not going to be playing anyone's comment, all right? Yes, we're not that type of person, and we don't want to be that type of person. Cataract finds Cataract finds Omari attractive. I knew it. Okay, I don't know about that. No. We're not giving one more hour. It's already 1:30. And we have touched all the points. It's just the Shamar Nicholson I just wanted to talk about a little. Like where do we see Shamar Nicholson in the next 4 years? Is he the striker that we can rely on or not? That's what we want to talk on, because now we realize that we have a striker issue. So that's what I want to hear on the panel. I don't know who is in the panel at this point. We have Africans. So Africans, what say you? Based on what you saw from Shamar Nicholson,
Yeah.
what say you on him? Because I don't know, coming from a Canadian, let me know. And a Ghanaian and a Jamaican something. I am not gonna put it in the next part,
No, he to me profiles like a Kyle Larrett. And I think that to me is how I see him. Can he fit the role? Yes. Can he have a hot 2 years? Yes. But generally inconsistent? Probably that's what he is. So can he fill the role? Yeah, for the time being. But you need to use a Canadian analogy, you need a Jonathan David to either emerge for Jamaica, or you need someone else to come out and just maintain a form and force you to play Shamar somewhere else or figure that out. But can he fill the role for now? Yes, but I don't think it's going to be as consistent as. To me, like I said, he profiles like a Kyle Laren to me.
Okay, Jason, what say you on Shamar Nichols? You think Shamar Nichols is the one that to carry the mantle, cross the line in the World Cup if we're gonna make the World Cup?
I think at this stage, you would have to say he would be the next in line after Antonio. Of course, there are other options that we, for whatever reason, haven't been able to see. I think in qualifying, pretty much it was, it wasn't Antonio, it was Shamar, it was Shamar Nicholson. So when you look at those three, Shamar is the only one in his mid-20s, so that's a plus for him. And I think I have to agree with Africans that he hasn't really proven to have the consistency to be the leading man for any extended period of time. But I'm hoping at this stage of his career, with more years in Europe under his belt, he can find that consistency. I think he has the ability to. I think he has the right mentality. Always comes across very humble in his interviews. So I'm hoping that, because as he gets older, he'll find that consistency, because I think the quality is there.
Okay, okay. All right. Brinjin said, is Shamar better than what we have available? Is another way of asking it. Okay, thank you very much, Brinjin. Richard Stewart, I'm not going to talk about none of those players in this conversation. All right. Yes, Maisden, big up yourself, man. Thanks very much, man. All right. So, guys, Nicola Francis said, boy, Shamar need to eat more yam, brother. Man can miss goals, sir. Okay, my God. Man, I beat Shamar. Well, tell you what, we have to rely on these guys if we can't get most of the other guys them that's already developed. Or maybe we will have one soon, because we have a lot of people. We have a lot of people actually improving. We will keep you. In the loop. All right. So today's show is our next good one. We have touched on the Ximines topic. We talked about Hallgrimsson. We covered Bobby Reid. And when we talked about the comparison of Michail Antonio with Hutchison. So we covered a lot on Bembo on his way on a move. We will put that in the next one. But as you know, that is a very good show. And thanks everyone that subscribed, hit the like button, share, and do all of those great things. Thanks all the panelists that came in. Massive respect. Yeah, but we have come to the end, guys. All right. Do you think we are really much grateful? So stay safe and can't say sweet, because in the Jamaican term they might say I'm too, you know. Yes, I'm too wise. So so let me avoid that too wise part. Yes. So take care, guys. And definitely see you in the next one. Peace out.